Mic check 1 2 1 2 1 2. There we go. Let's try that again. Media assets. And we are live. There we go. I guess I can remove the banner. All right. Welcome. Happy 4th of July. Unfortunately, Mother Nature wants to pop her own fireworks. Let me know where you're viewing from down in the comments. Of course, we'll try to I'll do my best to keep you guys updated and keep you safe. Of course, there'll be tons of questions that'll fill in about, which town can expect what. I'll do my best to break down each and every single community as best as I can. Of course, with it being the holiday season. If you hear my phone going off, that is the National Weather Service chat. I have the notifications on. One-man army for right now, so I just want to make sure I'm on top of everything. These storms have been pretty strong out west, but there is some good news. They have been on a little bit of a weakening trend as these storms have continued to march toward our area. And they've also been fluctuating in speed. Talking with the weather team, of course, at some portions of the line, we're moving faster than others, of course. So that'll be something we have to continue to watch. Looks like we're getting some comments in here. Everyone's watching in all over the place. Silent Springs, Fayetteville, Rogers, of course, Fort Smith, Ozark, Rogers rather map. Ozark, of course, we'll be looking out for you guys very closely. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and I'll get started. Looks like we have a good amount of people in here now. Yeah. So I'll go ahead switch you guys over to Mega Doppler, and this will allow you to see the scenes. And this is what we're going to be showing you because we do have a little bit of a let's just say complex of thunderstorms rolling in. There you see a live look at Mega Doppler right now. It certainly has its activity. Again, bear with me, one-man army for now, but you can see no severe storms for the area as of now. Everyone is fine. Most of the outdoor plans that you have are going right now. You should be fine. Maybe a little bit of a pop-up trying to form over Benton County, but for right now, the main area, of course, of concern is the warned area you see just west of Delaware and just to the north and west of Adair County. You guys are underneath that severe thunderstorm watch. That'll be something we have to continue to monitor over the next several days. Of course, you don't want to bring your guard down with this many people out and about. Of course, it could be a little troublesome with those storms that could try to move through. So we want to make sure we're keeping you guys safe as possible. That is certainly something we'll continue to try to do here. Pop my face up here really quickly if I can. Let's see if this works. Next one, maybe not. Okay, stand by really quickly. But nonetheless, we're continuing to monitor these showers and storms as they move closer and closer to our area. Again, the good news is, in fact, I'll replay this. I'll put this into motion. You can see how strong they were out west, and just wanted to get on top of things pretty early with so many outdoor plans happening as those storms continue to march. You can see they have been on a weakening trend, so that is good news. But again, don't want to drop our guard down. That is certainly something we'll have to continue to monitor over the next several hours or so. Tons of lightning with those storms as well as we continue to see that. That would be, again, certainly something we continue to monitor. It's definitely going to be pretty could be a potentially noisy overnight period for most of us across the area. Do have those strong storms likely late this evening, of course, if we're showing you that. So we'll continue to monitor that. I'm going to look at some of the comments here. I do have a track drawn already. I can show you guys that. I know it's getting very close to firework time, and there's been a lot of questions about fireworks and if you want to pop them or not, if you're good. So we'll go ahead and show you that as well. I do have a track drawn. And keep in mind, these storms are moving at a pretty good clip, I might add. So that'll certainly be something we continue to monitor. So I want to bring your attention to, of course, this line of storms right here. It's just west of Delaware County. You guys are not in the warning just yet, but depict if the storms continue to march east and hold their strength together just a little bit with those 60+ mile per hour wind gusts, then that warning will likely be extended here in just a little bit. But we do have a track on this. I'll just go ahead and get you updated with the next slide. So again, right now, majority of the area not underneath a threat of severe weather as of right now in terms of the near future. You can see that the track right now has Wagoner about 854, J 907, Tahlequah 917, Solemn Springs at about 928, and that's if these storms continue with their current forward speed, which is about 50 miles per hour, moving east southeast, southeast really at 50 miles per hour. So these again, they have been moving at a pretty good clip over the past several minutes or so. So we'll continue to monitor that. Westville 934 and Stillwell 941. So it's about another hour or so for majority of us before those storms really start to get into a very populated area. With most of those outdoor plans happening. I'm going to bring you back to Mega Doppler here really quickly so you can see what I mean. And again, you see how the storms, they are undercut by this boundary that we continue to watch. This is looking right here. You see that little green line out ahead of the line. That's where the outflow boundary is. So when that gets undercut or moves out ahead of the storms, they usually tend to weaken, but they can still bring frequent lightning and definitely some gusty winds. Especially going to experience some gusty winds as that line continues to move through. Maybe starting to get in on a few raindrops over towards Benton County, right over Bentonville. You can zoom in on that just to the south of Pea Ridge. We may be able to see this from some of our cameras. I'll try to work on that here very closely in just a minute. But that's what's going on right now. We're continuing to monitor the latest details of course, the radar. We're kind of now casting right now. I just got out of a newscast, a recorded newscast that'll play back a little later on. That'll be something we continue to monitor because I know there's lots of firework plans, of course, outdoor plans with it being Independence Day. I don't know if I said Happy Independence Day. I think I did. But if I did not say it, Happy Independence Day. Let's look at some comments here. Lots of fireworks going off in Lincoln. Nice, nice. So we don't, of course, we're rooting for you guys' fireworks and not Mother Nature's own fireworks. I guess she had other plans. I think Fort Smith will get some. I certainly do. I think it'll be a little more of the southern tier of the line that will impact Fort Smith. But you guys have plenty of time before that moves in. We're talking numerous, maybe an hour or so. And again, if you're hearing my phone go off, this is because of the National Weather Service. Have all their alerts on, of course, just making sure I'm staying on top of things. So if you hear a ding in the background, that's the National Weather Service usually chatting, or as well as my my Weather Authority team, of course, with Chief Meteorologist Dan Scoff, Leslie Castro, and meteorologist Josh Rudder. We're all tracking these storms, making sure everyone stays safe. Looks like we do have that severe thunderstorm warning that now clips portions of Sequoia County. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Bring this on the radar, and yeah, looks like we do have that new severe thunderstorm warning. I'll bring this up for you guys really quickly. Again, one-man army, I'm just going to show you the radar. And again, so this is an area that we're watching. This is out ahead of the main line of storms that you can see right now. So this will be something we have to keep an eye on. We of course, we expected this. So you guys not underneath a threat immediately, but you can see the latest orientation of that line certainly pushing a lot closer as those storms continue to accelerate. Now, these storms have been packing a punch. They have been packing a punch, and I'll go ahead and try to draw a new track on this as I get the forward speed of this storm, pushing over towards Sequoia County as well as far southern Adair County as well. And then, of course, Delaware County, you guys are about to get in on some of the lightning. You're probably already seeing lightning from some of those areas. Newest messaging from the National Weather Service. Looks like the greatest severe threat appears to be along the leading edge for the next couple of hours. However, the latest analysis shows an axis of instability extending across Benton and northern Washington County. Cap is also weaker. So we could start to see some activity a little sooner than what expected, maybe through 11 a.m. across portions of Benton and northern Washington County. Of course, that'll be certainly be something we continue to monitor. Looks like this storm is moving southeast at 40 miles per hour. So again, not all these storms are moving at the exact same time. So we're going to draw a track on this for you guys really quickly. I'll bring up a mega Doppler, so stand by just so you guys can see what I'm looking at as I continue to draw that track. So again, let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments. I'm here to answer as many as possible. I know this is not the time we want to be talking about thunderstorms, of course, but of course, we want to make sure you guys are staying as safe and weather aware as possible. So that would be certainly something we continue to track here. I'm currently drawing the track out for about an hour. I'll do an hour and a half just so it includes more areas. So we'll certainly continue to monitor that. I don't know if I can answer that call. Yeah, definitely can't do that. But I do have the track drawn. So let's go ahead and get you back over to Max 1. And here's what we're looking at. So this is for the southern tier of the line. Again, there's 2 areas of the line that we're tracking. And there you see the newest severe thunderstorm warning just get issued. In fact, we'll just go ahead and click on that as well. So yeah, severe thunderstorm warning, and it is considerable. So it looks like those winds have updated a little bit. Let's see, 9:45. Yep. So we do have a considerable severe thunderstorm warning. So that means those winds are in excess of 70 miles per hour. We'll get you back to the radar. It's a little convoluted here really quickly, but the newest track that we were drawing, I'll show you guys that here really quickly. Again, certainly going to be non-zero threat for tornadoes. Yes, that is certainly something we're continuing to watch. As of right now, the tornado threat is very low, but again, never say zero. Of course, we know how these cell interactions and boundary interactions can happen. So that'll be certainly something we continue to watch. Good news is the threat is very low. We're not expecting any of these to be super tornadic in nature, but of course, that'll be certainly something we continue to watch. Happy Independence Day to us. Yeah, I know, right? Again, what a day to be tracking storms here across Northwest Arkansas. But I'm going to draw this track for you guys on that southern end of the storm really quickly, and then we'll do the northern tier. The southern tier of the storm is actually moving slightly slower than the northern tier. So we're drawing this live on air, as you can see, and we're going to draw this for about an hour and a half out, approximately. So you can see for the southern clip of this line, Muskogee, you guys will be in on it. Fort Gibson, and then Webster Falls at 9:35, Sallisaw 10:04, Muldrow at 10:20. So these storms, again, they're still out west of the coverage area, but now we're starting to see those warnings move into portions of the viewing area. So that's why we're going to be continue to keep an eye on this. I wanted to go live and get ahead of the storms as they continue to push on in. So that'll be certainly something we continue to watch. Seeing lightning from the Benton County cell. Yep. So there's certainly going to be a lot of that over the next several days, or several hours, I should say, not days. But we're going to get you back to Mega Doppler really quickly as I draw the next track for Northwest Arkansas. Of course, we're tracking 2 different areas of the line, but you can see this storm is now considerable. Also have that cell over in Benton County starting to go up. Let's actually see if I can pull this up on some of our cameras. Meteorologist Leslie Castro just let me know that she can see lightning from the Rogers, or from the Benton County cell from where she's looking off. So I'll try to get a good view of this. And yeah, there it is. I'm looking at this right now. So I'll bring this up for you guys. I know you guys love looking at cameras. Max 1 full. And there you see a live look. Got fireworks going off, and then you have Mother Nature's fireworks off in the background. What a way for Independence Day. Numerous fireworks. This is our Rogers benchmark camera. I love this camera, but you can see the fireworks going off. So again, if you live in Bentonville, and points south of Pea Ridge, just north of the north side of Rogers, Little Flock, you guys are about to get in. There's a storm that's growing. It's very small right now, but this is the storm that we're looking at. It's certainly an updraft. You can see lightning in Rogers. Yep, this is that storm that we're pointing to right now. Not frequent lightning just yet, but certainly it's growing. That was something we were watching a few moments ago as a tiny little raindrop. And then, of course, we knew that was continuing to go up. So yeah, happy Independence Day. Beware of the Benton County cell that will rain over some people. Yep, we're keeping an eye on this right now. We got this. Oh, wow, look at that lightning strike. I was almost had like a reddish hue to it. Intracloud lightning. Lots of fireworks going off in the background, but of course, you see that cell getting very close to ruining some of those plans. So again, if you're just now joining in, we do have a considerable severe thunderstorm warning for portions of Delaware County, and it extends down into Adair County as well. We'll get you back to the radar here very closely. Stand by as I bring up mega Dopplers. You continue to always look at the radar, try to pinpoint your town as I continue to draw the next time track for you guys, because there's two areas of the line that we're watching, of course, with this northern extent moving just a little bit faster than the southern extent, but it's starting to slow down. So 45 miles per hour. So it's been fluctuating over the last hour or so between about 35 to 55 miles per hour. So I don't think it'll be, of course, storms don't ever move at just a strictly constant speed. So, of course, that's something that we'll continue to adjust with this track. We're going to go 45 here really quickly. Stand by. Drawing this new track for the northern tier of this line of storms that continues to push through with that considerable tag. And we're going to take this also about an hour and a half out, and that will put it over some of those populated areas here within the next hour or so. So, live look at Max 1. This is our newest track, and I'll take you through some of these areas as I continue to monitor the latest chat from the National Weather Service. Of course, we're continuing to track these storms. You've got Spavinaw at 9:05, J 9:21. This storm is definitely entering far northwestern portions of Delaware County as we speak. Of course, you can see that. Tahlequah 9:33. You guys had a pretty bad storm about a week ago. Some of those trees may still need some cleanup. Could potentially see some more of those blow down. And I want to stress that these storms are strong. They're moving fast, but they also have very strong winds. We're talking winds upwards of 65 to 70 plus miles per hour. And our conditional risk is actually for winds upwards of 75. So some of these storms could try to peak off that and continue to grow. But nonetheless, Decatur, 9:48, Stillwell, 10 o'clock even in Fayetteville, Washington County. That's just where our station is, 10:18 p.m. So again, if you're outdoors, if you're watching fireworks or have any outdoor plans over the next several hours, which I'm sure almost everyone, every single one of you probably does, that's certainly something to keep in mind as we continue to track these storms. Again, pushing off very fast, frequent lightning, heavy rainfall, and very strong winds are the primary concerns as of right now. As of right now, the tornado threat is pretty low, but we're continuing to monitor the radar very closely here. I'll bring up Mega Doppler again so you guys can see what I'm seeing. And you can see that we do have actually getting questions. Hey, do you think the Walmart app should cancel because of the lightning? I'm just going to go ahead. I don't want to be that guy that always says yes, but I mean, maybe keep an eye. But yeah, so that cell over Benton County starting to grow a little bit. Still has some lightning with it. So again, that's moving towards Pea Ridge. If it holds together, it'll be moving towards Garfield as well. That's, again, something we need to continue to watch. That is out ahead of the main line, but not seeing anything very concerning just yet. We'll try to bring up that camera. I'll bring up some comments really quickly just to make sure I'm keeping up with everything. So again, bear with me. One-man show for now. One-man army for now. But again, definitely wanted to go live and get ahead of these storms as they continue to push through the area. I know lots of concerns with outdoor plans and things of that nature. So again, something just wanted to be mindful and on top of. I'll bring up that camera again so you guys can see that Rogers camera for that cell that's over in Benton County has started to grow a little bit. In fact, we'll do my best to see if I can see this from the other camera before. Stand by here really quickly. Again, every time I stand by, I'll try to leave it on Mega Doppler so you guys are always up to date with the latest radar scan as I continue to do things behind the scene, but I'll continue to talk through the camera. So that's why I'm not showing my face as much. So just bear with me. As much as, you know, maybe my face is shown enough on the news, radar is the important thing for right now. Watching from Bentonville, I appreciate that, Martha. Yeah, we're keeping eyes on Bentonville. This storm is a little bit off to the north and east, but we can see some of those strikes here pretty close on some of our Rogers cameras. I'll bring this up for you guys so you can see again. Still have those fireworks going off in the background as well. Check this out. So yeah, you got Mother Nature's fireworks. You also have civilization's fireworks. It's pretty cool. Take this camera and try to point it just a little bit off to the west so we can see a little bit better. Looks like that cell is actually moving over here. Again, lots. Oh man, what a light show. in terms of civilization's fireworks. What a light show for right now. Fireworks continuing to go off. Certainly going to continue to see lots of lightning strikes. Oh man, check this out. My weather team sending me pictures and videos from the Benton County cell. Man, that thing is a beauty for now, of course. Unfortunately, it's causing some problems for outdoor plans. But again, don't want to get distracted. Get you guys back to radar here very, very quickly. We're continuing to see that. Certainly a very electrified storm right now, but that Bentonville County storm is continuing to grow a little bit. Yeah, I'm trying to answer some questions here. Lots of questions about fireworks and things of that nature. As of right now, I'm watching. Okay, yeah. So let's see. I'll pull up another Rogers camera. This will be we have 2 Rogers cameras for you guys. Oh my goodness, check out that lightning strike. That was a big one. That was a pretty big strike. So I'll pull up radar really quickly as I get the cameras in order, just so you guys are not out of the loop of what's going on. Continuing to see those severe storms march towards our area. That'll be certainly something we continue to watch. Now we're going to switch things over to the Rogers camera as I continue to track this. Looks like people were watching and concerned about the Walmart amp. I know that they were trying to pop fireworks. Got some questions about that. Let's see. As I tilt this down. Again, if you're just now joining in, we still do have some of those showers and storms continuing to march towards our area. Walmart amp, the view of the storm, can't really see it from the Walmart amp. I'll try to see if I can do another pan of a wider view. Stand by here really quickly. But again, you can see the radar right now. This is current radar, Mega Doppler right now, showing you the considerable severe thunderstorm continuing to march towards Delaware County. Northern Delaware County is getting in on it now. Adair is still pretty quiet now, but you guys will be seeing some lightning off in the distance before that cell gets there as we continue to monitor that. And then you'll notice Bentonville, that cell continuing to grow in size. And I'm not sure if that was a lightning strike or if that was a firework, but it looks like the camera just kind of stuttered here very quickly as I continue to monitor. Lots of people asking questions about the views. Hold on, stand by here really quickly, making sure that fireworks are able to go. What? Stand by. But again, live look at Mega Doppler. You're continuing to see those showers and storms fire off towards our area, continuing to march closer and closer to our area. So they are popping those fireworks over at the Walmart amp. So I'll show this very briefly, but I do want to keep track of the storms. But just so you guys are not out of the loop, they are popping fireworks here at the Walmart amp. I'll try to turn the camera. Kind of froze a little bit here, but I was seeing some of those pop just off to the left of the screen here. Looks like we're pretty close to where they're popping those at. But again, lots of fireworks going off. I mean, it's to be expected. I'll turn the camera here even more. Very close view. So there you see live look at some of the fireworks popping off right by the Walmart amp. There is lightning off in the distance as well. So we're getting the best of both worlds here for portions of Benton County as those storms continue to shift off to the northeast. That storm is actually getting closer to the state line. Going to switch things back to Mega Doppler here really quickly, walk you through the radar of what we're seeing. So right now, northern Delaware County, especially just to the west of Jay, west of Grove, this line of thunderstorms. The gust front out ahead, the outflow boundary continuing to move further and further to the southeast. So you guys are certainly getting in on the stronger winds already. You're likely seeing the light show, but the rain hasn't quite started falling yet, at least not the heaviest. That remains true for portions of Adair County as well. Still pretty quiet in Adair, but that warning was extended out because these storms are traveling so fast, continuing to move 45 miles per hour off to the southeast. And then we have one singular cell that's out ahead of the line over towards just to the north of Bentonville, over towards Pea Ridge, likely getting in on some of that rain as of now. We actually have a camera in Pea Ridge. We may be able to pull that up here, and I can show you guys, again, what we're tracking and what we're seeing. At the very least, these will be some very electrified storms as we continue to monitor the latest details. And I'm not seeing the Pea Ridge in my hit. Give me 1 second. Stand by as we continue to see this. There it is. Pulling up the Pea Ridge camera, making sure it's turned in the right direction. I got some fireworks going on here, as well as lightning strikes. I'll pull this up for you guys so you can see what I'm talking about. Max 1 full. Pea Ridge High School or junior high school. Fireworks off in the distance, similar to, of course, the Rogers area. Plenty of fireworks going off in Benton County, but you'll also notice we still do have lightning strikes. There's Dan.
Hey guys. Hey, we are live here from. Whoa, that was a clouded ground line.
Yeah, that was
We're a little ways away from this thunderstorm, but say hi to everybody on top of the Ledger building. It's 4th of July. Davion, I know you're watching the storms closely. We have a front row seat to this storm. I'm going to show you here real quick. So this is pretty cool. Wow. You can see all the thunderstorms all around northwest Arkansas.
Man.
In Benton County from Bentonville, but there's the lightning.
Yeah, that was a big one.
This thunderstorm is still a little ways away from us, but there was a cloudy ground strike about probably 10 miles away. So as of now, we're good. I know the storm is moving northeast, Davion.
Yep.
There you go. This has been increasing the lightning, so we're all being safe out here, but we're watching it closely.
Nice. Check that out.
Joining the party.
He wants to be live on your air.
We're live right now.
Right, he wants to be live.
You want to be live?
250. Happy birthday.
Yeah, that's right.
United States.
Oh, that was a really close lightning strike.
That was the response. Thank you.
That was really close. But here's the deal, Davion, take us through the radar. Show us the storm as it's moving northeast.
So we're taking you through the radar, and we'll bring that up here really quickly.
Yeah, bring that up.
There you go. So there's that storm right there. This is the storm that you guys are talking about, just to the pretty much right over Pea Ridge and points just off to the west.
Certainly, so it is a long ways away from Bentonville right now. It's northeast of Bentonville, and believe me, if we were close enough to be struck by lightning, we would get inside.
Oh yeah.
As of right now, we're good. I can tell you, we're all good.
Yep.
But this storm has really popped up pretty quick, Davion.
Yeah, it definitely did. I can show you the placement of this. Started off, so when I saw it, I mentioned maybe a couple of raindrops here, and then it just blossomed into that cell. Way out ahead of the main line too.
Yeah, there was a pretty good clouded ground lightning strike earlier. There's some more lightning. And here's the deal. We also got the lightning to the west. Now, that's a long ways away. But check this out. I'm going to zoom in here real quick so you can see. Look at all these the fireworks all around.
Yeah, the Rogers benchmark camera is lit up.
Isn't that a crazy view?
That is a great view.
Now, Davion, I know a lot of people are concerned about tornado potential, but I don't think the tornado potential is tonight.
Yeah, I don't think so. This outflow boundary has really been outrunning the storm.
Yeah.
You can see that small little green line out ahead of the main area. Storms are well back behind that. That means the tornado threat is near zero. So I think the tornado threat will hold off. Certainly some strong winds with the storm. Definitely some strong winds, but yeah. Very, very extremely near zero tornado threat for most of Northwest Arkansas.
I'm going to mute my mic here real quick so you can talk, all right?
Gotcha. Yep. So as Dan was alluding to, very low end threat for tornadoes. You can see that green line on Mega Doppler way out ahead of the storms, and that just limits the tornado potential. Looks like that considerable severe thunderstorm risk was dropped off a little bit just to a base severe thunderstorm warning. So again, these storms can pulse up and then briefly die back down. You also see that McDonald County for Southwest Missouri also underneath severe thunderstorm warning now, as those storms continue to march ever so closely to Northwest Arkansas. At the very least, very electrified, but again, not expecting much in terms of tornadic potential, but definitely strong winds continues to be the main threat here across Northwest Arkansas. I'm seeing which direction is it moving. So these storms are moving to the southeast. The entire line is moving to the southeast. Some portions of the line could bow and move a little bit faster than others, but for the majority of the entire line, it's moving off to the southeast, except for that Benton County storm that's actually moving to the northeast. Winds right now are based, so their winds right now are at least 60 miles per hour, gusting up to 60 miles per hour. That's base criteria, or 58, I should say. That's base criteria for severe thunderstorm warnings, and that considerable severe thunderstorm warning was dropped off to a base one. So winds not quite reaching that 70 to 75 area as they were a little earlier, but that's certainly something that could continue to happen later on down the line. So we'll continue to be with you guys as these storms push throughout the area. Lots of questions. Oh, another lightning strike. I think Dan was talking about another lightning strike. He might still be muted. Yeah, he might still be. Oh, wow. There it is.
All right, Davion, back on here. Just going to give you a quick update here.
Yep.
So people are asking, are we good being on top of this roof? And obviously, I'd never put anybody in harm's way.
Right.
This thunderstorm does have a lot of lightning, but I know the cloud to ground lightning strikes are happening where the core is, which is a little bit farther north.
Yep.
And so we don't have to worry because the storm's moving northeast, and I know you're showing that on your radar.
Yep.
And we, by the way, are in Bentonville. Now, I'm seeing the winds. The low-level winds are increasing a little bit, so that's something to be watching closely as these storms come in. But look at all the fireworks around. Isn't this an incredible view?
It's such a great view. In fact,
it really is.
I can bring up a lot of the Rogers benchmark camera lit up with the entire horizon is just lit up with lightning or fireworks, I should say. I'll show you. Moving it around a little bit, but you see it off in the distance.
I'm going to tell you too, it looks like, I think personally, Davion, that this storm might be on a weakening trend. Is that true? Just looking at the lightning. There has only been a few lightning strikes. They've been mostly intracloud, which is all the collisions aloft. But I'm not seeing anything cloud to ground strikes in a while.
Yeah, it's definitely not the most impressive storm, of course, that we've seen here across Northwest Arkansas. You'll notice it has grown in size just a little bit, but not necessarily in strength. As it continues, it is slowly moving off to the northeast, falling over towards P Ridge. So that'll certainly be something we continue to monitor. But yeah, like you said, not a very impressive storm. Check that out.
Now, here's the deal, Davion. I want to know, and people want to know, what time is this line out west coming in towards us?
Yep. We're gonna go ahead and drop.
I'm gonna drop off of here. I'm gonna mute my mic. You can take me off, by the way, by clicking on camera 1 to show a wide view of what the radar looks like, and then do a storm track on this, like a linear storm track.
Gotcha. So just like that. And yep. So we're going to go back to radar really quickly. You'll see me do this live as we continue to see the storm motion of these storms. They're continuing to move off to the southeast at 45 miles per hour. So that is the latest track that we had, 45 miles per hour. We're just going to draw this and talk across the entire line and drape it off to the southeast. So this will go for the next, I'll drag this out for the next 2 hours. So stand by here. There we go. All right, so the latest storm track of these storms. Again, this line of storms, not considerable anymore for now, but it's still packing a good punch, 60 to 70 plus mile per hour wind gusts as of right now. Base severe thunderstorm warning, but you can see the track J925, so that's pretty much now the next 3 minutes or so. Tahlequah 937, Stillwell just after 10 p.m. tonight. Springdale 1020, Fayetteville just after 1020. So about another hour or so before these storms start to really get into our populated areas, Washington and Benton counties. And then you'll notice off towards Fort Smith slightly later, about just after 10:30, shortly before 10:40, and then St. Paul around 11 o'clock, and Ozark 11:12. So it's the storms are marching, not necessarily at highway speeds, but a little bit faster than what they were earlier today. So that's certainly something we'll continue to monitor. Hail risk with these incoming storms. Now, I will say this: we do have the risk pulled up. I can go ahead and pull that up for you guys. The individual risk, and this was updated from when I did the recording shows. With a linear storm mode like this, it's typically hard to get very good, decent sized hailstones, but there is still that risk in place of up to quarter size. You can see very low in threat for tornadoes as well as large hail. But the damaging winds, you see that hatched area extending across almost the entire coverage area. That's, of course, what we're concerned about. Those hurricane force winds, believe it or not, still possible with some of these storms. Now, I want to bring your attention back to Mega Doppler for the storm that, of course, that Dan is nearby, has good, honestly, first front row seats to it. Again, lightning, not so much with the storm. That certainly has seemed to drop off here, but again, still expanding in terms of size, a little bit bigger than what we saw a few moments ago as it sits right over Pete Ridge. That camera is a little dark. Not this, the school's lights are not necessarily on, so a little hard to see the rain shaft, the rain curtains. But certainly continuing to see that storm as it slowly, and I do mean slowly, march off to the north and east as it continues to sit there. Now, any storm that does behave how that storm does, which I don't think will be many, but there still will be just a little bit of a threat for any flash flooding as those storms continue to move on through. But for right now, this is definitely, it's still going to cause problems in terms of outdoor plans. No doubt about that. But this is definitely tame for what we've seen here across Northwest Arkansas with this storm season. So that's at least some good news in aspect with these storms. Don't want to drop our guard down. Of course, we know how quickly things can change. We're continuing to monitor the latest details, but we do have, I'll bring back to the radar just so you can get a view of what's going on. So we do have severe thunderstorm warnings for portions of McDonald County, for all of McDonald County. And in fact, we have that for Delaware County. You guys are getting in on the line of storms now. Adair County, still very quiet, but that gust front is approaching, and that alpha boundary behind that will be some heavy rain and lots of lightning with those severe thunderstorm warnings. Very far western portions of Sequoia County underneath a warning. They have been for quite some time. I think that was actually the first warning to go into our coverage area, or right shortly after the first warning, I believe. Still very quiet for now, but again, those storms are fastly approaching the region. And then you'll notice, of course, further off to the south, those storms will eventually begin to impact the I-40 corridor and the Fort Smith region. And just in case you guys were questioning it, I want to show you the track again. That's not the newest one we just did, so we'll clear that out and we'll update the track. I'll just let you guys see me draw it live here on this northern portion of the storm. So again, for those of you who may have missed it, drawing this out for about the next 2 hours. And you'll notice, again, Tahlequah, next 5 minutes, storm's pretty much right on top of you guys. It's already storming there. Stillwell, just shy of 10 p.m. Fayetteville, 10:22 p.m. tonight. Those storms will start to approach the region. So fireworks happening now. My bigger concern with the fireworks is not necessarily getting them off. Of course, as everyone is already starting to shoot those fireworks. My bigger concern is once the fireworks are over, everyone's scrambling to leave. But nonetheless, Mountainburg 10:37, St. Paul just shy of 11 p.m., Ozark right after 11 p.m., 11:08, and Ozone 11:25. So about a ways out for some of you guys, still about a couple of hours or so for some of you guys. But here for Fayetteville and portions of Benton County, certainly seeing those storms fastly approach the region. We'll bring up Mega Doppler here, and I'll bring up any questions you guys may have as we continue to keep a very close eye on the skies and an eye on the radar. How bad will it hit Fort Smith? It's a good question. Right now, everything is still severe warned along this entire line of storms. So that means at least wind gusts in excess of 58 miles per hour. Some of those storms were briefly considerable tagged, and that means those wind gusts are exceeding 70 miles per hour. So that's certainly something we'll continue to monitor. That risk does go for 75 plus mile per hour wind gusts. So again, certainly something we'll continue to keep a very close eye on. Right now, again, if you're wondering about any tornadic threat with these storms, is close to zero. One thing we'll have to keep an eye on is this little boundary, this small green line that you see. In fact, I'll do something a little different here. I'll bring up Mega Doppler on this screen on Max 1 so that way you guys can see my arrow and follow along a little better. So this is still Mega Doppler. This little green arrow or the green line that you see around the arrow that's slightly out ahead of the storms. That's what we call the outflow boundary or gust front, depending on what you want to call it. But nonetheless, when storms are behind that and well behind that, as like we can see here, that means they're pretty elevated in nature. It means not really going to get that best environment for tornadic spin. Now, one thing we'll keep a very close eye on closely is if the storms can catch back up to the outflow boundary. Should the outflow boundary slow down, you can see that some of that reflectivity getting a little closer than what it's been before, and that would certainly be something we continue to watch. The Benton County storm that's over in there, Chief Meteorologist Dan Scoff and his family, that's continuing to slowly move off to the east. But P Ridge, you guys are certainly getting in on the downpour. Fortunately, if you had any outdoor evening plans, those have been put to a halt very briefly for now as we continue to track these storms. Also got a severe thunderstorm warning just north of McDonald County as well, but it does include McDonald County as this line continues to move on through. I'll zoom in closely so you guys can get a good look at some of your individual towns. Stillwell, you guys are just outside of that warning, but that will be extended for you guys pretty soon should these storms maintain their intensity. No reason to think they shouldn't as of right now. That's a false circulation, but right now, again, something we'll continue to keep an eye on. Sequoia County, again, still very quiet, but that line of showers and storms is certainly still approaching. If you live in the River Valley, anywhere in the River Valley, we're talking LaFleur County, Franklin, Logan, Scott County, you guys are quiet for now. The storms will be near you guys just a little later, as of course, storms literally usually move from the west to east. So you guys have a little bit more time before these storms begin to impact you guys as of right now. So good rule of thumb. We're still going off the Tulsa radar right now, and that's because the storms are still closest to the Tulsa radar. Once the storms begin to push through the central portions of the coverage area, we'll switch over to the Fort Smith radar. But that's certainly could we be looking at a derecho? I don't think the winds are that strong as of now. Maybe once it was out a little earlier, could have been had it maintained itself, but I don't think we'll be looking at that. Thankfully, that's certainly not something we want to see happen or move across the region. Not on a day like today with everyone traveling, with it being a holiday and outdoor plans, that can certainly cause some problems. How bad will it get in P Ridge? Good question. So P Ridge, again, you guys are seeing the storm right now. That is Chad. You guys are seeing the storm right now. That is out ahead of the main line. So P Ridge, you guys are getting in on some pretty good rainfall. Not as much lightning as Chief Meteorologist Dan Scoff was showing you. That storm has certainly been on a weakening trend, but that is out ahead of what we have really been tracking, and that's the line of storms to come. Again, breaking it down, it's a very, every town won't see the exact same aspects, but umbrella term, generally speaking, we're talking severe thunderstorms. As of right now, base severe thunderstorm warning. So that means wind gusts near 60 miles per hour. However, the threat could increase to 70 to 75 plus miles per hour.
Hey, Davion, you can bring me back up here. I'll give you one quick update.
Nice. There we go.
All right, there we go. So here we are on top of the Ledger building in Bentonville. And I've been making sure everybody's been safe. You can see everybody around here. Got Jennifer, got everybody at the Ledger building. This is a private party with Cornerstone, which has been really fun. But we've been watching this thunderstorm, and the cloud-to-ground lightning strikes have definitely decreased. We're only seeing right now intracloud and some amble crawlers. So nothing has come close to us in terms of lightning. And we haven't even really heard thunder from this lightning. So this is called heat lightning. And heat lightning is just basically lightning that you can see, but you can't hear the thunder. It's too far away.
Yep.
Now this storm off to the west is coming in. That's a little bit closer. But I have a feeling that Bentonville is not launching their fireworks at Orchard Park, because Orchard Park is just north of us, and we would be able to see them. Now, the AMP did the fireworks a little earlier. I texted the organizers of them and said, you might want to launch those fireworks a little earlier. So they did. They started them just before 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I
And
think our engineer Chris Peterson, he was texting me, telling me that they're shooting them off down there too.
yep, they were doing them earlier, so that's
Yep.
good. But there's all the lightning that's decreased, and so we're still seeing intracloud lightning. And I know people are concerned and nervous. There's an intracloud right there, but that is so far away, Davion. That's like literally 15, 20 miles away. And
Yeah.
this type of storm doesn't have that capability, especially with the anvil going north, of
Yeah.
producing a cloud to ground lightning strike anywhere close to us.
Yeah. You guys are A-okay and
Yeah.
safe and just enjoying
Yeah.
the view.
Yeah, and just enjoying the view. It was wild. I sent a video. You can maybe show it on the news tonight of that thunderstorm blowing up.
Oh yeah.
Well, newscast. Yeah, newscast is coming up, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah, we're live at 10.
Show that video because you can see that storm blowing up. I got the whole video of it, that updraft
Nice.
going up. So,
Nice. Will do.
all right, man. Well, I'm going to shut it down here. Davion, what do you think about me coming in? Do you think I need to?
As of right now, I'd say no. These storms are not really doing it. They are severe, severe warned, but that gust front is really far out away from the main line of storms. Leads me to believe that the tornado potential, again, still very low, near zero.
I mean,
Hopefully
that's
we
what I
could,
was seeing. I saw the gust
yeah,
front way out ahead of it. So the tornado potential is zero right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
Unless
These
that
storms,
gust front slows down and the line catches up to it. I don't see that.
right?
It doesn't feel like tornado weather out here. It's kind of cooled off a little bit. So storms in the river valley could be a little stronger, but I'll be monitoring and watching it, Davion. And
Yep.
like I said, man, appreciate what you're doing. I'm going to shut it down, though. Thank you so much. I will throw that post on 479WX, okay?
Thank you. Yep. I'll bring
Yep.
that up and I'll
And then
show
that
that.
way you can bring it up through the radar.
Yep.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Sounds good.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
Davion, take care. I'm going to spin the camera back around here.
Yep. We do the same.
Thanks so much, man. Appreciate you. It's
Thank
definitely
you.
been a fun time, though, on top of the Ledger building for this
Oh
4th
yeah.
of July. Happy Independence Day, everyone. Be safe and take care. Appreciate you more than you know, Davion. Thanks so much for everything. And happy 4th, man.
Happy 4th, Dan. Enjoy your time. Thank you.
All right. See you
Thank you.
guys.
Man. Gotta love our weather team, man. Love Chief Meteorologist Dan Scoff. Great mentor. Continuing to enjoy the time outdoors, as everyone should. Just make sure you're staying safe, as he is as well. I'll bring up some comments here. A little hard to keep up. I do want to point out, as Chief Meteorologist Dan Scoff said, I do have a live stream, or not a live stream. I do have a newscast coming up here in just over 20 minutes. So it'll be live at 10. You guys, if you haven't been on here, we can simulcast the live stream and the newscast. I'll just have to click off. So there may be some parts in the future of this stream where we have to stay a little quiet because there'll be a newscast behind me going on. But we'll try to stay on as long as possible as these storms continue to push on through. But again, good news, these storms are not overly strong like we've seen them be out west or like we've seen in a very recent memory with June. But they are still severe. We don't drop our guard. Still could produce some wind damage. But I'll bring you guys back to Mega Doppler here very quickly. Just so you can see the latest updates. Again, that cell over in northern Benton County beginning to move across the state line very slowly. But that's the cell that Chief Meteorologist Dan Scoff had a very good view from Bentonville. But you can see they are a safe distance away from any of the lightning. So that's certainly good news. But that line of storms is certainly approaching Delaware County. You guys have been getting the brunt of it for the viewing area for now. McDonald County as well. Adair County, you guys are just now starting to see some of your first raindrops. Very extreme western portions of Adair County. That goes the same for Sequoia County. Most of the viewing area is still very quiet. So if you're watching this from any counties, like let's say Madison County or points eastward or southward, you can launch your fireworks now if you want to get them out the way beforehand, because it will likely be not very comfortable to do so a little later on. So this is good news. The good news about this, these storms have certainly been moving in a little quicker than what we've seen What's up, meteorologist Wesley Castro? Full government name. We just got a new severe thunderstorm warning. This is radar indicated 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and this is an extension of the line that we were already watching. We'll bring this up for you here on Max 1. So you see this new severe thunderstorm warning goes until 10:15 p.m., and it does include Sequoia County. And again, I just mentioned you guys are certainly about to get in on some of your first raindrops. That gust front pushed through quite a while ago, honestly, or beginning to push through quite a while ago. But the storms are so far behind that the warnings have just not been there. But nonetheless, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. We don't want to drop our guard. These storms, they're all base severe storms for now. We're certainly thankful for that. They were definitely packing a little bit of a punch out west. That's certainly something we'll continue to monitor over the next several minutes or so. You're not on camera. You're good. You're good. So as I mentioned, we do have a newscast that'll be coming up here at 10 o'clock. That'll be, we can simulcast that. I do have helping hands now, meteorologist Celeste Castro coming in just to help man the radar a little bit. But again, as of right now, nothing overly concerning with these storms as they continue to push through. So that'll be something we continue to monitor. I don't think this will be a very strong threat as of right now. We still have the latest, talking with the latest from the National Weather Service office out in Tulsa. They had their fair share of storm damage. Those storms were a little stronger out west compared to what they're doing here. But again, certainly something we'll continue to monitor. Again, that cell that Chief Meteorologist Dan Scoff is looking at continuing to slowly drag off to the northeast. P Ridge, you guys are certainly getting in on some of that, some downpours right across the state line, north of Bentonville, north of Rogers. That'll continue to be the case. Delaware County, you guys are getting in some of that action, have continuing to be getting in on some of that action. Still quiet here in Washington, most of Northwest Arkansas. Majority of Benton County still very quiet outside of that one cell. Carroll County, you guys are quiet. Madison, quiet. But you can see out west, we're continuing to track that line. And I'll go ahead and check the latest scans of this and make sure they're still moving at about 45. Yep, they are. They're still moving 45 miles per hour. Here, we haven't done a track for the southern tier of the storm in a little bit, so I'll do that. That warning is eventually going to move into LaFleur County. This is a good question. How many waves will there be coming through? Just one wave. We're just watching this one round of storms. There could, of course, out behind it, there could still be some stratiform rain behind it with some lightning, as you see out west, but not. This is the only organized round of storms that we're seeing. Everything after this will just be your usual light to moderate rainfall, maybe a typical clap of thunder. So not an extremely high risk of severe weather, but again, we don't want to drop our guard. We're thankful that that boundary has continued to be further ahead of these storms. Stand by here. I'm going to draw a new track on these storms for the southern tier, and this will be for you guys in the River Valley and points southward. So Sequoia, over towards Fort Smith, LaFleur County. This will be for you guys. We did a track on the northern tier of the storm. I don't want to leave you guys out of the woods here, so stand by here. Looks like this computer has shut down on me, unfortunately. Looks like Max has frozen on me. Can't switch any. There we go. All right, so stand by here really quickly. Continuing to man radar, but drawing this new track. Storms are still moving at about 45 miles per hour. Moving off to the southeast at about 45 miles per hour. Again, I've been drawing these tracks out for 2 hours. So I'll bring up the latest details for you guys here. Next one. So you can see Eufaula 941. So that's now essentially. And then you got Sallisaw 1004, Muldrow 1018, Fort Smith just after 1030. Looks like we got a new severe thunderstorm warning, and that is for Washington County. So that'll be, we'll click on that here really quickly. Boonville 1114, Acorn 1140, Poto. I missed you guys, but 1044. All right, new severe thunderstorm warning. This has been extended a little bit, so that's this one now. So yeah, again, another base severe thunderstorm warning. This has included just west of Fayetteville, but portions of Benton County now getting in on the action. Of course, we expected this as that line continues to push a little closer. Again, still a base severe thunderstorm warning. We're talking 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. You can see the counties Adair, Benton, Cherokee, Washington underneath this risk right now. Gust front still a little out ahead of this line, so tornadic potential is 0 for right now, and then hopefully that continues to remain the case. Those storms are still well behind that line, so could pack a little bit of a punch stronger in the river valley, but storms in northwest Arkansas, they are still severe. We don't want to drop our guard, but again, these are not storms that we haven't been through before. Of course, we'll continue to keep you updated with the latest. Lots of outdoor activities going on, of course, where it's not raining just yet, but we want you aware of this. Wanted to jump on live a little earlier to catch the storms before they started to push in through the region. Didn't want to have anyone's outdoor plans spoiled, although some of you guys were. Maybe if you live over at P Ridge, had to pop your fireworks about an hour or two early. But nonetheless, we're continuing to monitor the latest details. I do have a newscast coming up in about 15 minutes. During that, there will be times where I won't be able to talk as much. Sorry, I didn't. No, you're good. But again, I won't be able to talk as loud, I should say, or as much. But gotcha, Dan. He posted his video to 479WX. I'm going to show that in the newscast, so stick around for that. That would be a way to stick around. But again, don't want to leave you guys out. Of course, meteorologist Leslie Castro is in, keeping an eye on things for me.
Yes.
I think I got a message from Dan mentioned that you can watch the stream straight. Oh, you can watch. Okay, so you can watch the stream straight from 479wx.com. So you can also watch the stream from there as well. So that is certainly good. You can send us your photos and videos of any fireworks or lightning strikes. We can pull it up directly from Mega Doppler as we continue to see the latest. So that'll be something cool we can continue to watch. Bring you guys back to that new severe thunderstorm warning. Again, it does clip portions of Washington and Benton County. It's a very large warning, and they're drawing those warnings so large because the storms are moving so fast out ahead. And that line, even though it's a gust front, that has some strong winds with it as well. So we'll continue to monitor that. Numerous power outages over in Oklahoma. Not so much for us, of course. Those storms were a little stronger out there. I will say, Leslie, these storms not overly strong. They're certainly starting to weaken. And you'll also notice down in the river valley, again, still very quiet, but those storms a little stronger down there with more lightning. But again, still base severe thunderstorm warnings. Nothing too overly concerning as of right now, and we're thankful for that. I'll bring up Mega Doppler. You guys can see what I'm tracking. And yeah, again, those storms down south, a little more lightning with them over towards Stigler. It's just outside of our viewing area, but Sequoia, you guys are beginning to get in on some of the rainfall. If you live in extreme northwestern portions of Sequoia County, that extreme corner, north of Gore, south of Braggs. But again, base severe thunderstorm warnings all across the board. McDonald County, southwest Missouri, you guys are getting in on a severe thunderstorm warning right now. Several pockets of heavy rainfall. Also, that cell that Chief Meteorologist Dan Scoff was on continued to weaken and push off to the north. So that's certainly something we'll continue to monitor. Now, listen, I don't see his post to 479. I know it's supposed to automatically pop up, isn't it?
Yeah. Turn that on.
And
I think because videos, sometimes they have to go through approval. And with that being said, it might not show up right away. I know photos, they'll go in quicker.
Okay. So yeah. So again, just now tuning in, we're continuing to watch this radar. And honestly, Leslie, this line of storms, at least the portions that's entering into Adair County and northwest Arkansas, it's definitely on a weakening trend.
Yes.
It does not look as impressive as it did earlier.
And like you see that outflow boundary is well ahead of it. And even
undercut.
with it, and from the last few scans continues to stay ahead of it.
Yeah.
There's no change in pace. I will say for those who threw their lightning before, I want to say before 9 p.m., before 9:30, you guys are good for the most part, unless you were in Benton County. If you're waiting until after 10 p.m., that's when we could run into some issues.
Oh, yeah.
So you definitely want to throw them now while you can. But yeah, that's all I have to say on that. I know Farmington, Arkansas, which is like 10 minutes away from Fayetteville, they postponed their fireworks show to tomorrow at 9 p.m. if anyone wants to catch that. I don't know of any other towns. I know because Doug has also been posting them.
Teams.
He also said Fort Smith, they pushed theirs from 9:30 to 9 p.m., which was a good call.
Yep.
And like we saw with Walmart Amp too. And I heard you mention that on the live stream as well.
It looks like we got a post here on 479. Check this out really quickly. It is holding.
Which I'll pull up once you have it up.
There it is.
Okay.
Lightning in Siloam Springs. Can I pull this full?
But yeah,
What is it? It's Alt, right?
yes. Alt. Double click Alt.
Yep. There we
There
go.
we go.
So yeah, lightning, Silent Springs. Again, you guys are on the western tier of that warning now. It's definitely going to continue to move closer. That front is that gust front beginning to move closer. So storms very imminent for Silent Springs. You can see the mega Doppler loop right now. But again, base severe thunderstorm warnings. I'm thankful
correct.
for that. These storms were considerable and destructive out west, and then they picked up speed, and I was like, well, maybe launch the live and get ahead of this with everyone being
exactly.
outdoors and having those plans. We got reports of boats taking on water, Lake Eufaula. Wow. So there has been a little bit of some concerns for our friends out west. Those storms are getting a little stronger. There's been a lot of damage reports out west as well from a little earlier with this line. But again,
considering it's nighttime, hopefully there's no one that's on boats per se at lakes. I know Beaver Lake, which was postponed for if you know, you know, kind of situation.
Yeah.
But there's no fireworks show at Beaver Lake. However, if anyone's in a boat, which I doubt they would be at this time, definitely having to take that into consideration.
Maybe
winds,
maybe not the best
water
idea.
Coming into boats, definitely not the best idea when you see storms coming your way.
Yeah, remember there was actually a little bit of a cell that fired off over extreme northern Beaver Lake earlier today. Not much lightning with it, but it certainly did have its downpours. So we'll continue to monitor that. I know you're reading a message from
Stevens mentioning latest analysis still suggests an axis of instability and a weaker cap strength across Benton County, indicating it remains in play for strengthening storms. However, the cap continues to increase across Washington Washington County, I should say, into the River Valley and southeast Oklahoma, south of Interstate 40. As the outflow continues ahead of the line and the storms encounter a stronger cap, expect a gradual but slow weakening of the line. Still some pockets of damaging winds possible within a very warm and moist air mass across southeast Oklahoma, including portions of NWA. So pretty much, long story short, cap beginning to strengthen across a good portion of the region. However, it's the weakest across Benton County, so storms could potentially continue to strengthen in Benton County, but as for everywhere else, on a weakening trend. However, we can't rule out damaging winds.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, you heard it here first. Damaging winds. That's what we've been preaching about all evening. Trying to stay ahead of everything, dropping numerous updates. With it being 4th of July, of course, a lot of you guys probably have family in town and friends in town who are traveling. Very busy travel weekend across the entire country. But again, we're thankful these storms, not necessarily overly strong as of right now. They are still severe, and you just heard some strengthening is still possible. But for the most part, things are taking a turn for the better compared to where they could have been, because these storms certainly performed, unfortunately, pretty good out west before they moved into our region. Looks like we did get that video from Chief Meteorologist Dan Scoff. I'm going to see if I can pull it up here. Oh yeah, there it is. So he has that video. I'll show this again on the newscast. I'll give them a sneak peek of it, because why not? So this is video of that updraft. This was that small cell that was sitting just north of Benton County as it continued to grow and mature. Notice the fireworks down off in the distance as well. When I first pulled up the benchmark camera in Rogers, all you saw was a horizon of fireworks, and then off in the distance, lightning. It was pretty cool to see. Got lightning from another one sent in from Bentonville, Arkansas. This is a picture. Lightning strikes. Yeah, it's at the very least, these would be electrified storms. It's very humid outside. You know, it's very hot and humid, that typical summertime thunderstorm. But of course, we do want to drop our guard, do have that severe tag along with them. But thankfully, not considerable anymore. They were considerable a little earlier during the live stream, some of those 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. But we're thankful for that. Not seeing most of that right now.
Yes. I felt like I had something to say and then I completely forgot. You know, it's just one of those nights, I'm sure. And the reason, of course, we're live too, considering people, I saw someone mention earlier, they're stuck in traffic at the NWA Mall. I went to the show a little bit for the NWA Mall, but I dipped around 9:20 just because I said, you know what, let me not get stuck in this traffic and come here.
Smart move.
Instead, I was able to catch a little bit of fireworks before getting here, but that's something to keep in mind. People are going to be stuck in traffic getting out of shows, and thankfully, you should not be in traffic, hopefully within the next hour. But of course, keeping an eye where that storm definitely going to move into Benton County first, then Washington, and then farther down the line. River Valley looks like they're going to get the line a little bit later based on what Mega Doppler is looking like. But for the most part, we're expecting straight line winds. How fast is
these
it
are moving at 45 miles per hour.
45. So it's slowing down just a little bit.
Slowing down because and the southern tier of the line actually slowed down quite a bit. So I may draw a new track because now they're moving at 35 listed, and they've kind of been fluctuating all night. But I was going to say I appreciate you coming in. I know these aren't the and for anyone questioning, you know, why are the guys, like you just said, why are they live when these aren't, you know, the worst storms we've seen? Well, you know, the reason, of course, it's the holiday. Lots of people with outdoor plans, like we mentioned, just being out and about. You don't want to you want to have some type of presence when it's storming with this many people in the area. So that's certainly something we continue to watch, especially when they do have severe tags with them. Even if they're on a weakening trend, you can never drop your guard. So that's certainly something we'll continue to monitor. Looking at Mega Doppler, we still have that outflow boundary out ahead of the line. So tornado potential right now still zero, still absolutely zero. These storms are elevated. That continues to be the case all up and down the line. Now I will say the storms down in the south look a little stronger than the ones in Northwest Arkansas, or that's approaching Northwest Arkansas. But we'll continue to monitor that. I'll draw a new track for these storms.
I'll actually do that. You get ready for your show.
Yes. So meteorologist Leslie Castro is going to draw a new track as I continue to get ready for the show. Of course, I mentioned I do have that show coming up at 10 o'clock. We'll be able to simulcast everything, and I will show that. Actually, I guess you'll have to help me out with that, showing Dan Scoff's video.
Yeah.
I'll show that. I'll show that in the opening tease as well as the full weather, just because why not? But again, if you're just now tuning in, we do have severe thunderstorm warnings that are moving throughout the region. You can see Mega Doppler. Of course, we're trying to keep up with every single comment in every single town just because we want to make sure you guys are good. But you can see the line. You can kind of pinpoint where you would be at and how long it would take. And I know meteorologist Celeste Castro, she does have a track as we continue to see this storm move off to the southeast.
Yes, so right now it's moving at 45 miles per hour, and it looks like, honestly, between Fayetteville, Salisaw, McAllister, you could expect it to arrive anywhere from 10 o'clock to 10:30. So definitely something to keep in mind. This is a little bit of a bigger track, but hopefully here in a little bit, I'll try to break it down so that we could get a little bit more closer and regional with it. Poteau region. So think of maybe Fort Smith and the Poteau region not necessarily reaching the area until closer to 10:40 or 10:47 in case of Poteau, then Greenwood, which Greenwood is also very close to Fort Smith region, 10:56 p.m. So it looks like the River Valley, of course, will definitely be getting hit later. We're talking anywhere from 10:30 to 11 p.m. at the earliest. Also keeping in mind Madison County, you have St. Paul listed on there, 11:10 p.m. And for anyone out in Boonville or between Scott and Logan County, you could see it past 11:20 p.m. So let's go ahead and just break this down just a little bit. And like we mentioned, for the most part, I would expect straight line winds from this that could be damaging at times. No tornado potential by the looks of it right now, just because we've spoken about the outflow boundary and is still ahead of this line, which pretty much kills it off and lets us know that these storms are elevated. So let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit closer to Northwest Arkansas, in fact, and along Interstate 49. And if I go ahead and just plot quick track right there, it's kind of moving more towards the southeast than it is easterly, but I don't have a lot of room to work with here. So let's zoom out a little bit more and then extend it out at least to an hour.
Check this out, Leslie. You get the best of both worlds on the benchmark. You got fireworks happening off in the distance and close by, and you got Mother Nature's fireworks live.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, that looks really fun. And I'll show some cameras here too in the meantime when Davion's not live. But there we go, Northwest Arkansas, which it's not including all of Benton County in this, but Benton County, you've already been seeing some rain across Bella Vista and Pea Ridge, I'm sure, with that cell that kind of popped up well ahead of this line and was working its It's mind of its own. I saw
Yeah.
a couple of anvil crawlers from that one, and that was also the same cell that Dan sent a video on. But there we go. Silent Springs along the border there by 10 o'clock. Like I mentioned, if you're planning to throw any fireworks after 10 p.m., definitely need to keep an eye on this because it looks like it might not be so likely here. If you threw your fireworks earlier in the day, great. You guys made it just in time. Lincoln by 10:17, Stillwell 10:05, then Prairie Grove by 10:24 p.m., and then Fayetteville 10:32, West Fork 10:35. So think of it reaching pretty much along the Interstate 49 corridor. It looks like, honestly, closer to around 10:30, at least given with the information we have here. And then West Fork by 10:35, like I mentioned, Mountainburg 10:43, Sunset 10:50. So that's what I'll give you right now. If anyone gives any individual locations that they're hoping for, then I'll try to cover it. Arkansas, Rogers, Arkansas, I would also expect it to be arriving around 10:30 by the looks of it. Again, the storm is moving at 45 miles per hour. It was moving as fast as 50 to 55 earlier, but it looks like it's in decreasing in speed just a little bit. And someone said, not gonna lie, the fireworks and lightning combo was chef's kiss. When I was at the Fayetteville Mall, let's just say I was looking both at the fireworks and also at the lightning. It was just so impressive to me nonetheless.
Looks like we're coming out here pretty soon.
Yes.
Wow.
We'll cover more locations once Davion is
The
no
lightning.
longer live.
Weather too.
I'll let you man Mega Doppler.
Okay. The winds are moving at 60 miles per hour, according to the severe thunderstorm warning, by the way. People have been mentioning it's a little bit gusty.
And so it begins.
Yes. Give us one quick second, everyone. We're about to go
2 minutes
live.
out.
Okay. I'll leave this plotted up for everyone if you know your general location. That way you guys get a decent idea of where this line is headed into.
Man.
But I do have to help Davion with the show here.
Getting a good look. I got you.
First is sponsored by George's Heating and Air.
Well, those hot and humid conditions has led to this, a very electrified night. We have those fireworks off in the background, and then we also have Mother Nature's own lightning strikes occasionally happening on our Rogers benchmark camera. In fact, we could switch things over to weather one, I believe. I think this is weather one, excuse that. But temperatures in the upper 70s, lower 80s all across the board. And this is the big story of the night. A line of thunderstorms continuing to track off to the east. It is severe. In fact, our own chief meteorologist, Dan Scoff, sent in a video of some of those electrified storms a little earlier this evening, as we are live on Facebook as well. Simulcasting, check out this structure of this storm that was sitting over portions of northern Benton County, now starting to fall apart a little bit, but that line of storms will continue to track towards the rest of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley, and we'll be tracking that as we continue to go throughout your full weather forecast. But first, your 10 o'clock news starts right now.
Proudly covering the Northwest Arkansas community. This is KNWA News at 10.
Well, welcome into tonight's special edition of KNWA News. Thank you for joining us here at 10 o'clock. I'm Casey Smith, and we're wishing you and yours a very happy Independence Day on this 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. We've got a jam-packed show for you tonight, featuring all the best investing in America stories from Northwest Arkansas that we brought you here on air at KNWA. A historic filmmaker was in our corner of the state, showcasing the country's 250 years of history. And one of the world's largest retailers is lending a helping hand to those right here in our region. The Arkansas National Guard, though, is where we begin spending the week leading up to Independence Day, flying over the natural state.
All right, so here's the storm track that I mentioned from earlier.
Gabrielle Phelan bringing us that story.
We also are live on the newscast, so
we obviously showed you the look from the skies above looking down. If you caught any of those photos of those Black Hawk helicopters or the C-130 Hercules, just go ahead and take out your phone, scan the QR code that you see on your screen, and send those our way. And the Walton family has poured billions back into our community.
You can probably hear Casey behind me.
Back in 1979. But arguably its biggest investment has been its new home office. The January unveiling put a bow on years of planning. Walmart's vice president of corporate real estate tells me that the company's thousands of corporate employees are spread all across 23 locations, but this new home office brings them to one central location. Aside from helping productivity for one of the largest retailers in the world, we're seeing returns on Walmart's investment with some of the best workers and people living right here in Northwest Arkansas.
The new home office campus certainly had a talent recruitment mindset. We want to bring the best and brightest here to Bentonville. The interesting and surprising thing is, yes, they want to come here for a great job with great opportunities, and they are telling us that. And really close second to a really great job is a wonderful community and place to work, place to live, bring their families, things to do on the weekends.
That was Cindy Marsiglio, who you just heard there, and she mentioned some of those things that we're doing on our weekends. One of those being going to the Walmart Amp for a show, perhaps, or to the Walton Arts Center to catch a show, the momentary Crystal Bridges, or hitting the Razorback Greenway. All big investments made by the Walton family.
Man, look at all those fireworks off in the distance.
States 250 years since the Declaration of Independence is remembering the servicemen and
We
women
also try to
who
pull
fought
a
to
benchmark
protect and preserve
camera.
our freedoms along the way, and that's none more evident
Give me
with
1
Christopher
second.
Kirby. He was a Revolutionary War soldier born in Virginia in 1760. He died in Washington County.
Ooh, you can really see the lightning off in the distance now. Hold on, guys. Give me 1 quick second.
His exact burial location is unknown, but this marker that you're seeing right here was placed in the Cane Hill Cemetery in his memory by the Daughters of the American Revolution back in April of this year. In a small Washington County town, now of about 70 people, tucked away off the beaten path of Highway 62. It has history older than the state itself, and one nonprofit continuing to preserve the 200 years of Cane Hill's rich history as we celebrate the country's 250th today. Cane Hill being founded back in 1827 by a group of Presbyterians who migrated west from the Cumberland Gap. If you're unfamiliar with that region, kind of the western Virginia, western North Carolina, eastern Tennessee, West Virginia area.
You can probably hear Casey behind me, so let me just mute myself real quick, but I'll still show you a couple of cameras and the radar whenever possible. With outflow boundary well ahead of the storm right now, we're not expecting anything or like any tornado potential whatsoever, which is really good, but I would expect straight line winds more than anything else. fireworks look crazy, by the way. All right. Dude, this scene, man. Oh my goodness.
Well, speaking of lit up skies, so is Mega Doppler lit up with those showers and thunderstorms. They are severe warned as they continue to march east over towards northwest Arkansas and in the River Valley. We'll time out all the details of what you can expect overnight in your forecast in just under 10 minutes.
You're watching KNWA News at 10 with Casey Smith.
That camera. Whoa.
Which camera? Looks
The
like
one
a
you-
new
yeah, the
severe
one you're on.
thunderstorm warning. Let me go to it.
New one?
Yeah. Oop, this is Springfield's radar. Give me 1 second, guys. Wrong one. Okay, sweet. Oh no. Good. Great.
So we're in a break now, so we can talk a little freely for now, and then the sports block. So yeah, we're good.
Oh, the
for the
camera's
next several.
focusing on me as always.
Oops.
Hi. Yes.
OBS bot.
It won't stop following me.
There's a lot of lightning on these storms, man. Not seeing many as much fireworks anymore. It looks like everyone has. So never mind. Spoke too soon. Yeah, spoke way too soon. They're still firing.
Yeah.
Just
oh,
off
yeah.
in the distance.
Over there. Do you have any tracks on your show?
No, but I do want to add one.
Okay.
You have one built already? I'll just snatch it from.
So. Oh, but we have sports. Okay, so with
Yeah, we're
sports happening right now, we can actually talk a little bit, and people are asking, oh, what are we expecting? Are we expecting a second round of storms? No, this is going to be the main line coming through, and we can see there's already rain back building on the other side of the system. But if I go ahead and plant a storm track here, actually, let me make it a little bit smaller just because I do want to focus region by region first. So if we focus on Northwest Arkansas specifically, people are asking about Gravette, Farmington. I did see those comments. So let's go ahead and adjust this track real quick. There we go. So with this track being adjusted, we can see the storm has been moving in and is headed towards the southeast. So let me adjust this a little bit more. There we go. So this is honestly for about the next hour. Stillwell, you're pretty much seeing the gusty winds and the rain by now. Lincoln, not until 10:24 p.m. And then Bentonville 10:30, Springdale 10:40. It looks like Fayetteville, it's not until 10:43 now. Mountainburg 10:51, Mulberry 11:04, and we could see that storm is really rolling on through with that latest scan. And Huntsville by 11 p.m. So Fayetteville, honestly, I would say anywhere from 10:30 to 10:40, you'll definitely see it. Someone asked about Farmington. I would say, honestly, between 10:20 and 10:30, you could expect to see that line coming through Highville, which is just west of Springdale for the most part, maybe around 10:30 as well. So that'll give you guys a good approximation as to when you could expect these storms to roll on through. Someone mentioned War Eagle. I say maybe closer to 11 p.m. by the looks of it, or honestly from 10:50 to 11 p.m. might be a better approximation for that as well. Looks like there was also an extension farther up north, including Berry County. So if we go ahead, click on that real quick and zoom in on that. There you go, Berry County. Let's focus on our Missouri partners as well, because you guys have been seeing the cell, which we had that individual cell that popped up over Benton County is now beginning to interact with this line. And with that being said, you have winds up to 60 miles per hour, maybe possible hail size up to 1 inch. And let's also see the orientation of this, because notice how the orientation of that cell was moving farther up north, but I think I'm curious as to see what the exact orientation will be for this line. It looks like they have it pointed up north, so they're still expecting it to go up to the north just a little bit more. So if we do a quick thing, actually I don't like that. Let's do actually more of just a storm cone. Give me 1 second while I get an idea of how fast this portion of the storm is moving. Wow, 15 miles per hour. So definitely a lot slower than the rest of the line. The rest of the line has been moving at about 45. Keeping in mind that severe thunderstorm warning that includes Northwest Arkansas or west of Interstate 49 expires at 10:30. Curious to see if there will be an extension of that here in the coming minutes. before it expires. But yes, let's focus on that storm. It's moving at 15 miles per hour. And then I'll go to showing you some of the cameras, because I know some people are probably wanting to get a good look at fireworks. And you know what? Me too. I don't blame you guys. Yeah, this is just a slow moving storm. If I plot it out to an hour, it's only going to make its way like halfway through Benton County. But Cassville, you guys could expect to see more rain maybe in the next half hour to an hour from this tiny little cell. But again, I don't think it moving north at 15 miles per hour is going to last long with it interacting with the rest of this line. And then LaFleur County, Sequoia, first off, you guys are definitely getting rained on, and Adair, to say the least, or beginning to get rained on in Sequoia. LaFleur County, we still have a little bit of time, and Fort Smith. So now that I spoke about Northwest Arkansas and at least Missouri, let's go ahead and plot the second portion of this line down here and move that. And let me fix myself real quick. A lot of warnings on the graphic, no doubt about that, or on the map, I should say. There we go, up to an hour and a half. Salisal by 10:19 p.m. Wilburton by 10:32. Spiro by 10:41. Fort Smith 10:48. There you go. So closer to the 11 p.m. time frame. Greenwood also 11:05. West Hartford 11:09. Then Big Cedar 11:28 p.m. and Boonville by 11:30.
We'll say I don't like that that cell over in McDonald County. Has a little bit of a funny look to it. It's going to be undercut pretty soon, thankfully.
Let me show the people exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
real quick.
so that cell in McDonald County, it does have a very weak meso. Nothing overly concerning. Now, keep in mind, I did just switch this to the Fort Smith radar, so we're looking a little far away. So you're not going to get the best view of that. But when I was looking over it from Springfield, very weak meso. But again, it's actively being undercut as we speak. So that's good news. But there you see just a little bit of something we'll continue to monitor. It's being undercut, but severe thunderstorm warning for McDonald County as well. We'll be coming here 90 seconds out from my weather hit now.
So Davion, we'll give you more information then, and then we'll keep going over locations. I already mentioned Siloam Springs. Siloam Springs, you pretty much should be getting rained on any minute now. This is going to be the strongest of the line and could see some more rain on the back end of the system. However, not as heavy, but letting you know it will be raining by the looks of it for a good while now, because there's a lot of stratiform rain that's beginning to build up behind the system.
About 1 minute out.
Okay. Fayetteville time has been closer to about 10:30 to 10:35, even though it's kind of showing 10:40, but anywhere from 10:30 to 10:40.
Yeah.
Huntsville, I give it at about 11 p.m.
All right. I think we're good on time right now.
Uh-huh.
Let me see this 5 o'clock.
Davion's about to come on, guys. So I'm about to put him on.
If you go long, just be prepared to toss it quick.
Okay.
I don't know what it is.
Your Weather Authority forecast with meteorologist Davion Huggins, certified most accurate by Weather Rate.
All right, we are going to waste no time and get you caught up with all the latest details. We're looking at How Heating and Cooling Mega Doppler right now. This is live. These are the storms that are continuing to march into portions of Northwest Arkansas, Southwest Missouri, really our entire coverage area. In fact, Chief Meteorologist Dan Scoff had a video of one of these cells that fired off a little earlier this evening, and he had very good video of the structure of the storm as it continued to mature. Now, thankfully, these storms, at least this particular storm, stayed sub-severe. Unfortunately, can't say the same for all those storms that are continuing to march in out west from this line. So there you see what we call a gust front, and that is out ahead, the outflow boundary. Of course, you can refer to it as well. That's out ahead of the line. So the tornadic potential is 0 as of right now. We'll continue to work our way further south and notice LaFleur County getting in on some of those warnings now as this very stout line of storms continues to push over towards northwest Arkansas. So we're going to do a little bit of a radar tour here. So walk with me. It's going to be a little bit hard to follow, but this is a very interesting storm as it has merged, if you will, with another cell. But you can see that severe thunderstorm warning lasting until 11 p.m. Radar indicated 60-mile-per-hour winds as that continues to push off to the east. And then we work our way a little bit further south. And you'll also notice that we have this severe thunderstorm warning clipping portions of Benton, Washington, Adair, Sequoia, and Sebastian County. This is certainly a long list of as these storms continue to push on through. Again, that's also a base severe thunderstorm warning. A little bit of a track for this. We're talking about Sallisaw here within the next couple of minutes. And then a little further down, Fort Smith, you guys will be getting in on this right around just after 10:45. And shortly before 11 p.m. or right around 11, we're talking about Barling and over towards St. Paul and then eventually Kingston. We're on our way further south toward the River Valley, where a little bit of a stronger portion of the line as of right now. That continues to push off to the south and east over towards LaFleur County, getting in on that warning as of now. You can see Poto 1050 on this evening, West Hartford 1106, and then Big Cedar 1116. So again, a lot of people outdoors and traveling and popping fireworks. We're certainly seeing our fair share of that on our cameras. Just to make sure you remember when thunder roars to go indoors. These are some storms that'll be traveling in. And at the very least, even though they are base severe thunderstorm warnings, we don't want to drop our guard. They do have frequent lightning. So that'll be certainly something we continue to watch. Speaking of watching, that watch for our Oklahoma counties will expire at midnight unless these storms continue to strengthen. But they have been on a very noticeable weakening trend over the past hour or so. Speaking of weakening trends and just a perfect view of everything going on, we have fireworks off in the horizon and then numerous lightning strikes, intra-crowd lightning strikes over on our Rogers camera. Still a very lit up sky. So at the very least, again, as I mentioned, very electrified storms are out there. Where it has rained, those temperatures starting to cool down, but most of the area anywhere from the low to mid 70s to right around the 80-degree mark, especially in the River Valley, where the rain has held off just a little bit. We were talking about the severe risk, and it was a level 3 out of 5 enhanced risk. We're starting to see that dwindle down a little bit as those storms continue on the expected weakening trend. But nonetheless, those wind gusts continue to be the very main primary concern. Not expecting much in terms of tornadic potential, especially with that gust front we showed you out ahead of the line. Models which have struggled, of course, as you know, as they always do, they do continue to show this line weakening as it moves throughout the region right around midnight. And then you see Fort Smith getting in on some of that heavier action between midnight and 3 a.m. before this starts to turn into stratiform rain, occasional lightning strikes. But we could see some isolated scattered thunderstorms pop up as we get that daytime heating again back into our area for tomorrow. So that'll be certainly something we continue to watch for over the next several hours or so and into your tomorrow morning. Now, for your 7-day forecast, by the time we get to tomorrow afternoon, these storms, they'll be turning a little more pop-up in nature, not as strong and severe, and those temperatures will warm up again with some of that daytime heating. We got a pretty similar forecast for your Monday, not expecting widespread storms, but that summer-like pattern we've been stuck in, Casey. A pretty tame start to our work week after these storms roll through tonight. And then we'll really crank up the heat, especially on Wednesday. Right now, Wednesday looks like a very nice day to get outdoors, but make sure you're staying hydrated. But as we head towards the latter portions of the week, the temperatures keep on rising, and so do the thunderstorm chances. We're stuck in this summer-like pattern where we just can't shake a very long stretch of no severe, or at least no thunderstorms, but we'll continue to track that. But for right now, we're focused on the severe weather at hand.
Yeah, that line of storms coming in, that's like the snakes and sparklers equivalent, I think, to our forecast. We want things more to go boom and explode and stuff, some of the good stuff.
Yeah, unfortunately, everyone popping their fireworks, Mother Nature decided to get on the action. I don't think she knows that she wasn't really invited to this party. We didn't want those kind of fireworks.
We're trying to keep the celebrations going, and we're keeping the celebrations going here on KNWA. Talking about the storytelling of the United States, we have sit-down, one-on-one exclusive with a documentarian bringing American history to life. That story coming up after this short break.
Newscast almost done. Got about 2 more blocks left. Still very electrified storms.
Look at the fireworks off in the distance. Look at the lightning.
What is that?
Well over.
Is that a plane?
I would assume a spotlight. Yeah, that's the spotlight. Look at it right there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Look at it right there.
Okay. I was like,
Look at the fireworks. I'm surprised people are.
There were some over here too.
Yeah, there's fireworks everywhere, man. But look at that beautiful display right now, well ahead of us.
So again, we're in a break right now, so that's why we're able to show you just the cameras, the light show. Again, these storms are. I don't think this warning will be extended. It has 6 minutes remaining. They were typically extending the warnings out before they expire, and this one is about to expire and it hasn't been extended. And you can see the orientation of these storms. I'll pull up Mega.
Yes,
Yeah.
I got you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yep.
So this is for the northern portion of the line that we were talking about. These storms are not really holding together. Again, you can see this watch, or this warning, I should say, expires in about 6 minutes. Over the past several hours, they've been extending those warnings out ahead of the line in anticipation of re-strengthening. But you can see they have been on a weakening trend, and the warning hasn't yet been extended. I don't think it will, as that just does not look impressive anymore. Now, further to the south for LaFleur County, storms are a little stronger, still holding on just a little bit. Maybe we see an extension of this warning for LaFleur County, maybe eclipse portions of Scott County, as well as portions of Sebastian County. That'll be something to watch. But for right now, things are pretty tame across Northwest Arkansas. Unfortunately, just putting some of your outdoor plans in jeopardy. Coming back. So we're back in the newscast. We have to talk a little quieter.
Yeah.
But again,
Per SPC, there may be a few counties added onto the current severe thunderstorm watch, but a new watch downstream of the current one does not look likely at this point. Little Rock mentions. Have to agree. Lightning and fireworks have been.
So they're adding counties to the watch, but not.
That's what
extending it.
SPC mentioned. However, it's not looking likely downstream.
Okay. Well, that's good news. That just further confirms that this line is on a weakening trend.
Yeah, pulling this up, and then we'll show you the radar here in just a little bit. But look at that! Oh my goodness! Look at this.
What a light show!
Our full sit down with Ken Burns is over on our website. America's a land of opportunity, and freedom is at its peak when you're watching fireworks, and that couldn't be felt more than for one woman taking in the fireworks and festivities tonight at the Northwest Arkansas Mall. Gladys Black was one of the thousands out watching the show tonight, but the special thing, she recently became an American citizen.
Let me see cameras in a couple of other regions now that.
This storm in McDonald County is a little undercut, but it still does have a little bit of a mezzo. Trying to rotate. Not impressive, very weak, very elevated, but it's there. So that'll be something we continue to monitor. Very weak rotation in the upper atmosphere. This is looking from Springfield's radar or now, so a little closer view, but again, not expecting anything to come from that. Hasn't been mentioned in the current discussions. So things are continuing on a downtrend as of right now. I think we'll be okay. Looks like we did just get a new warning for Adair County. And yep, that just populated. So
there you go.
Yep. So Fort Smith, you guys are now underneath that warning. A little bit of a stronger core of the storm, but not impressive. Uh, 15. Also, you guys won't have to. You guys won't have to stay. We do, just until the storms move out, and then we'll be cool.
Yeah, they're still on the live stream.
Yeah, live streaming.
I live stream. Leslie wins.
What?
14.
14 seconds.
What did I say?
Let's
Said
go.
15.
Sorry.
He said 42. Think about that.
We'll give everyone a look at everything here in just a
Great movie, by
second.
the
The
way.
storm track,
That's
because
42.
thankfully the show is
That's a
going to be
hijack.
ending here real soon. But in the meantime, they are going to be coming back and they're going to be doing a quick final weather. So we'll capture the end of that.
Shout out to
But yeah, we'll give everyone a good look at storm tracks since I know we've been in meeting in one. But let's just say, looks like everyone in Northwest Arkansas will be getting rained on. However, thankfully, this storm is on a weakening trend, but we still have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings, like Davion mentioned, River Valley, Adair County, and where it looks like
Wipe in.
From Adair, Sequoia, LaFleur, which I can show you guys here real quick. This new thunderstorm warning was just recently issued. And I'll go ahead and look at how fast this portion is moving, 45. So it's still keeping its pace, 60 miles per hour wind gusts expected, and a quarter-size hail with that as well. But yeah, they're going to come back here in just a little bit.
All right, well, severe thunderstorms continue to move throughout the region overnight tonight, but those are on a weakening trend, and then we'll have a tame start to our week before those temperatures really start to climb second half of the upcoming week. And those rain chances not going far, at least I should say, over the next several days.
All right, thanks for joining us. Happy 4th of July. Have a great night, everybody.
All right. This camera is still following me for whatever reason, and I can't get it to stop following me.
OBS bot.
There we go.
Is glad that Aleshley came in.
So let's go ahead, take a quick look at radar here in just a little bit. Dan knows, and we are the experts too. There is no tornado potential expected,
do we have both
but we will be seeing rain here real soon across Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. If you not have already seen some of the rain, it's already been raining over Siloam Springs, over. It looks like Gravage should just about be raining right now. Let me go ahead and pull up Max 2 real quick. So first and foremost, let's just do a quick look and tour of what's happening on the radar. So we have this stronger cell that's across Berry and McDonald County. We'll be making its way more into McDonald County. However, it's been moving slow, 15 miles per hour. There's a little bit of cell interaction happening right now at the current moment that we do have to keep a current eye on. And someone mentioned it is raining in Morrow, so thank you. Bella Vista should be raining over you guys already. Pea Ridge should just about be raining over you guys as well. Decatur should be very heavy. So with that being said, let me pull up the Decatur camera real quick just to get a good look at that and understand what's going on in that region. So Decatur, there we go.
I'll build.
Can't really tell from the camera, but I would assume it's raining. It looks like the road right there is pretty wet, but it's not the greatest quality on this camera. But yeah, no, it's definitely raining there by the looks of it. Just not greatest quality, but you can kind of see the rain just falling over the camera right there. Let's go ahead, look at Bentonville Square. Rain holding off just a little bit, but should be raining here very soon. Also looking at Bentonville Fulbright, as you can see, it is dry right there right now. Siloam Springs, let's go ahead and take a look at our Siloam Springs camera. There you go, wet pavement, letting you know it is raining out there. Bella Vista, also seeing wet pavement, so I would expect it to continue to rain here in just a little bit because we are still seeing rain across that region. Let's show you our Rogers camera real quick. Also seeing a lot of lightning, so these are electrified storms, definitely something to keep in mind. I know there are some people that are probably trying to spend as much time outside as possible, but probably not the smartest idea with how electrified this line has been while it's moving in. And let me pull up Rogers real quick. I'm just trying to find it right here. There we go. Pinnacle Parkways. I did see some fireworks being thrown earlier on this camera. Don't know if I'm still seeing any fireworks, but hopefully there's not anymore because it's not the brightest idea by this given point. Definitely seeing some lightning as this line continues to roll on through. Someone mentioned it's starting to rain in Lincoln now. Thank you. Unfortunately, we still don't have our Lincoln camera. Right now, we're expecting winds. Ooh, did they actually look? They dropped the severe thunderstorm warning for Northwest Arkansas.
They did.
That expired. They did not extend it. So let me show you guys.
I told you those
real
storms
quick
on the weakening trend.
And they are, and hopefully it's the same for the River Valley. Unfortunately, does not look like the case right now, but let's show you that real quick. So I'm just trying to pull it up here. Give me 1 second. There you go. Meaning to say wind gusts, I mean, I wouldn't even expect wind gusts up to 50. This has weakened significantly.
Yeah.
It's not even looking like heavy rain anymore. So Northwest Arkansas, we will be seeing some rain here, but in terms of severity, non-severe for right now, which is honestly great news. There you go. An hour out, especially along this line that is no longer severe thunderstorm warned. So Bentonville, 1036, honestly, I would say even sooner than that. You guys are probably beginning to see some of that rain right now. Let me fix this a little bit more. Farmington, 1040. Fayetteville, 1046. So it looks like time has been pushed back a little bit for Fayetteville. So expect it anywhere from 1040 to 1045 by the looks of it. Winslow, 1055. Mountainburg, 1059. Hinesville, 1108. St. Paul, 1121. So pretty much going into, I want to say Madison County, to say the least. You could expect it just around 11 p.m., if not a little bit later. And then Ozark 11:28, and then Kingston 11:35. So for the most part, I think for the River Valley, you could expect those storms to roll on in a little bit after 11 p.m. by the looks of it with the current trends. But that's your timing right there. Eureka Springs, and honestly, for this region, it's still. I've been curious as to what the cell is going to be doing. It looks like it's finally moving out towards the east, because what we had is this individual's cell that popped up over Benton County was moving very slowly at only 15 miles per hour, but now it's interacting with that line and will be moving towards the southeast. So definitely something to keep in mind. With that being said, if I plot a little bit of a track there, I would assume it'll pick up the pace of this line that's overtaken it. There you go.
So that is this. Is that the severe front? Yeah, McDonald County moving south.
Moving it southeast because now it's interacting with that line, and I'm sure the storm motion from that line will take over, given how slow this storm was moving.
If you guys hear me here in the short term, I'm about to film cut-ins for tomorrow morning. That's something we do here after in the newscast on the weekends. So if you hear me talking about something, it won't be current. It'll be for tomorrow morning. So just keep that in mind if you hear me.
Trying to fix this line right here for our River Valley people, because I know that's something we definitely need to keep an eye on. But if you live, honestly, north of Interstate 40 by the most part, you guys should be in the clear when it comes to severe threats. I would expect something non-severe.
I'm ready when you guys are.
Along that, correct. As for Spiro, Poto, keeping in mind, storm moving in from 1050 to 1103, Greenwood 1113, Big Cedar 1130, Boonville 1140, and then Mena 1155, and that's out of our viewing region. Wilburton 1035, so you guys should be seeing that rain here real soon. And it's probably gusty there as well.
Your Weather Authority forecast with meteorologist Davion Huggins, certified most accurate by weather rate.
Well, it was certainly a noisy overnight for some of us here across Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. A couple of those showers and thunderstorms could linger into your morning time frame, especially late morning as that daytime heating starts to get going yet again. Those temperatures are expected to climb in the upper 80s to lower 90s across the viewing area. Not as strong with those winds, only light and variable throughout the afternoon. Walk you through your future track. This is right around daybreak, 7 o'clock in the morning. Could have some of those lingering showers yet again along and south of Interstate 40. And then notice how once we get some of that daytime heating to work back in place, maybe some of those isolated pop-ups yet again. So we're going with about a 30% chance of rain for right now. And then as we go throughout the rest of our afternoon and into the evening, looks like we'll finally start to quiet things down so you can get outdoors and enjoy that. So we got about 60% chance of rain throughout the early morning time frame for your Sunday. But after that, temperatures are going to continue to climb towards the upper 80s and lower 90s as we start our work week. And then those temperatures will continue to rise as we head towards the second half of the week. A little bit of a break from the rain chances in the middle portions of the week. And we'll certainly take that before those temperatures continue to rise and crank back up yet again with very warm temperatures in the upper 80s to lower 90s. River Valley forecast, more of the same, cranking up the heat and keeping those storm chances back as we head towards the second half of the week and into the next weekend. But for now, we're going to enjoy those nice temperatures in the mid-90s. River Valley had 2 animations. I wasn't expecting that. Yes, please. The River Valley animation for the 7-day was a little off.
Letting you know, for Northwest Arkansas, honestly, from the border all the way down to Interstate 40, it doesn't show because it's not a polygon, but there's a special severe weather statement that goes all the way up through 11:15 p.m. Sorry, this camera is all the way up. The movement it's moving to the east at 30 miles per hour and wind gusts up to 40. They
Well,
mentioned
certainly
the
a little
impacts
bit
could
of
be
a
gusty
noisy
winds.
overnight period here for some across
I'll show you.
Northwest
I'll
Arkansas.
let
We're
you know
glad
a
that is
little bit.
finally out of the way. Some of those lingering showers and thunderstorms could be possible as we go throughout the rest of your late morning and into the early afternoon, going with about a 30% chance of rain, at least for the late morning time frame. Temperatures expected to climb in the upper 80s to lower 90s today across the region. But let's walk you through those rain chances that we have. Again, about a 60% chance of rain very early in the morning, but by daybreak, we're going to drop those down to about 30. You see very spotty showers and storms. But notice as we get a little bit more of that daytime heating in place, as we continue to go throughout the late morning and into the early afternoon, could see most of those pop-up showers happen. This is mainly along and south of Interstate 40. That'll certainly be a trend we'll continue to monitor as we go throughout the rest of your afternoon and into the evening. But as we do just that, go into the evening time frame, those temperatures are going to continue to climb. But those rain chances do look to drop off quite a bit as we go throughout the second half of your Sunday. So for your full 7-day forecast, temperatures will continue to climb right around the upper 80s to lower 90s as we end off our weekend and head to the early portions of the coming week. To start off the work week, it'll actually be pretty tame. Some isolated pop-ups possible on Monday. Not so much for Tuesday and Wednesday, a little bit of a break. But then we'll really crank that heat back up, and those storm chances will turn back up as well as temperatures continue to climb in the low to mid 90s with those temperatures in the River Valley. Definitely in the mid 90s, so make sure you're staying hydrated if you have outdoor plans.
Ooh,
Yeah, I like that.
Pea Ridge. There's some.
I still don't like that animation. Did you see that?
No, hold on.
Something. I'll keep it. Yeah, I'll keep it for the cut in for you guys.
Well,
but
okay.
Leslie, what's this? That was. You see that? Why is it doing that?
Oh, because you need it so that it does not pause.
I never added that on there. I think. Oh, okay, I know what happened. I cleared out my hit.
Oh, okay.
And that was the default setting. So
okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. We're troubleshooting something here. In case you're hearing us and wondering, we're not forgetting about you guys.
Okay, yeah.
Someone mentioned. Can you show how Pea Ridge is right now? No power outages in Pea Ridge as far as I know. I just checked the power outage map and it only says only 8 people out of power for Benton County. I would expect it to get a little bit heavy here in just a little bit, but nothing too concerning or severe to say the least. So, I mean, full fireworks display first off in Pea Ridge, but you guys are going to get rained out in that area. I almost don't want to get off because I'm like, you know what? We're not able to enjoy the fireworks outside right now. At least we have these cameras to give us
have the
a
cameras
good look.
to enjoy for it. There was a report over in Madison County, far removed from any of the thunderstorm activity. The report says cloudy with a 100% chance of freedom. Happy Independence Day, everyone.
James, where do you live? Because where you live also definitely depends on where those natural fireworks are. Because there's been a decent amount of people, at least I saw too, on the way to work and in Fayetteville, lightning off to the west and also off to the north with that individual cell over Benton County. But I'm sure a lot of people are getting some lightning displays right now as well. Oh, yeah. But it should be weakening across Northwest Arkansas by the looks of it. Oh, yeah, there's not a lot of lightning. I can show you guys Mega Doppler here in just a little bit. But someone asked about Pea Ridge. There you go. I could expect it to get heavy right here. I'll show you exactly what to keep an eye on right now as I get my arrow. This right here could lean into Pea Ridge and it could get heavy at times.
I did forget. I'm sorry.
None of this is severe.
My mind is everywhere right now. Happy 4th of July.
There we
Thankfully,
go.
It's just the 7th day.
We still have to keep an eye on the line over in River Valley. Let me switch on over to Mega Doppler to show you how it's looking like lightning wise. Lightning for sure. If you guys were outside.
My bad. I forgot about the 30-second cut in.
No, you're good. Hold on. Dave, I'm just going to record something real quick and then I'll keep talking about the lightning. But you could see where all the lightning flashes are happening right now at the current moment.
All right. In 3.
Davion has to do another cut in, so that's why he's
Well, for the next 7 days, it is certainly going to be quite a tame start to the week. We had those thunderstorms in the overnight period on your Sunday, but now we're starting to see a very nice start to the week. Still very warm. Temperatures in the upper 80s to lower 90s. And as we head towards the second half of the week, those shower and storm chances will return, as well as the heat. Those temperatures climbing into the low to mid 90s across Northwest Arkansas. And in the River Valley, potentially the mid to upper 90s. So make sure you're continuing to stay hydrated as you step outdoors, but get ready for a very tame week of weather.
Okay, Davion's done with that cut-in.
Now
In the
we're done.
meantime, looking at lightning, definitely a lot of lightning across Berry and
That's so
McDonald
funny.
County with these heavier portions of the line.
Um,
Beginning the weekend, I mean, look at this. Northwest Arkansas, like someone mentioned, Fayetteville fizzle. Here's what it was looking like a while ago, a few scans ago, in fact. And now look at it now. That line just kind of fell apart for the most part as it made its way into Northwest Arkansas. However, Bentonville could get a little bit noisy here. Not as much lightning associated with this portion of the storm there. However, River Valley could still be a little bit electrified, especially LaFleur County and into Sebastian, so something to keep in mind. Again, this fizzle that we're seeing is happening from, it looks like, Washington County and Crawford County for the most part.
So we still have a severe thunderstorm warning, it looks like.
Yes.
Sorry, guys. I've been doing everywhere, the weekend duties. It's always the weekend when you have a live stream and man the radar, huh?
Yeah. I'm looking at the cameras right now just to see. Ooh, I just saw CG from the Rogers Pinnacle Parkway Towers camera.
Yeah, there's a little bit of an electrified storm still over in Benton County.
Oh, these CGs, man. Let me show you.
We're getting a lot of. Just saw a question about a second round. Is my mic still on?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we're getting questions about a second round. There won't really be a second round of thunderstorms. What we're seeing now is the most of what we're going to get. Behind this is just stratiform rain, which is just the typical lingering rain showers with the occasional lightning strike and cracks of thunder. But in terms of severe weather, this is the only round of severe weather we're expecting. And as you know, it's been a pretty tame severe weather threat, which we're thankful for.
Yes.
Over this 4th of July. Fort Smith, you do have a little bit of a stronger cell moving towards you. You guys are still under a severe thunderstorm warning. Make sure you're being mindful of that. That is approaching pretty quickly. The Fort Smith area. Yeah, they can show Mega Doppler. Pecola, Greenwood, you guys are like slivered out of this warning, but downstream, you guys will get us in on some of that. Fort Coffee, you guys are about to pick up on some heavy rain, very close to the radar. LaFleur, this is northern LaFleur County, already seeing, of course, the storms. These storms will continue to push off to the south and east, and that could make it clip portions of Sebastian County, eventually Scott County as well. So if you haven't popped your fireworks there already, maybe do so and get them done so you guys can get back inside once the lightning and all the rain comes. But for now, you might have a very good view of a free light show from Mother Nature.
Yes, if we go up to Southwest Missouri, because someone's also asking about Southwest Missouri looking like for the rest of the cell, it is definitely beginning to pick up in strength. So I would expect to see an extension of the severe thunderstorm warnings. And how that makes its way into Northwest Arkansas, I don't think so, just because the storm motion of those cells farther up north looks like it's more to the east.
Yeah, northeast. Those are moving towards Springfield, away from us.
The cells up north that, though, it's east-northeast, so yeah, those are going to be moving away from us. Once this line goes through, for the most part, I think we will be in the clear as well. I could expect heavy rain with this for sure. I was also looking at National Weather Service Springfield. They mentioned they have already seen 1 to 2 inches in some areas of Missouri.
Wow.
So they put a flood advisory, but not for Berry or McDonald County.
Nice.
However, yeah.
So it looks like for the most part, we escaped the worst of these storms. Notice back out west, you still have some considerable tags over in South Central Oklahoma.
That's moving to the south.
Yeah, but that's moving to the south. That's moving away from us, so we won't have to worry about that. Our main concern right now is Southwest Missouri, McDonald and Berry County, as well as the River Valley, Fort Smith region, northern LaFleur County as well. We'll continue to stay here and man the radar as these storms push on through. But again, behind this, you'll notice there is still some light to moderate rainfall behind these storms. Benton County, it is still raining, still got some lightning strikes as well. Delaware County, stratiform rain, light to moderate, but again, still some lightning strikes. So again, just want to make sure you have, if you're east of this line, Madison County, Carroll, Boone, Newton, Johnson, Logan, Franklin, again, make sure you're popping your fireworks a little, getting them out the way now, because the storms will continue to track east, even if they're not severe. Of course, you don't want to be out in rain and lightning once the storms continue to move in.
Correct.
seeing any comments.
Is the yellow part in Oklahoma right now going to get worse? I don't know what you mean by yellow unless you're talking about the stratiform rain. Besides consistent rainfall, there's nothing severe with that if
Yeah.
you're talking about the reflectivity.
Looks like we just got that severe thunderstorm warning for Berry County. So that's the extension of the one you just talked about.
Mm-hmm. So we can go ahead and look at it real quick. Exactly.
Yep.
So here's what we're looking at. This line as well. LaForte County, any tornado threat. Before I talk about Missouri, we're not seeing any tornado threat right now. Outflow boundary has been racing ahead of these storms.
Yep.
For the most part, it still looks like the outflow boundary is still ahead of whatever's in the floor, so no tornado potential with that. Now we're focusing up in Missouri. Here you go. Let me look at how fast these storms are moving. There you go. It looks like they kind of extended or updated it up to 30 miles per hour. They had it at 15 earlier. Now they've pushed it up to 30. No surprise about that. So if I go ahead and take this, which these storms have been having a mind of their own across Missouri, so it's kind of hard to kind of plot this actually. So if I go ahead and just take that
It's
dip.
weird because the storm up north isn't moving the same as the one down south.
No, they're like moving in all different directions, guys, but heavy rain nonetheless. So Berry County especially is what we're keeping an eye on. McDonald County, you guys are pretty much clear of the threat, just to let you guys know. But there's your track. But a lot of that includes out of our coverage region and along Interstate 44.
Yep. Now, I will point out, if you obviously it's still the 4th of July, but it is nighttime now. Depending on how your family is oriented, some of you guys could be starting to travel back home, things of that nature. Just make sure you're keeping that in mind if you have to be on the roads overnight. Still going to see some rainfall in spots. Maybe some very, very isolated flash flooding. These storms kind of came and then went. They didn't necessarily stick around, or at least they were kind of dying out, I'll say. They are sticking around, but just make sure you're staying mindful of that as well. It'll mainly be low-lying areas. We haven't seen very exacerbated rain rates, at least across the entire viewing area. Benton County and Southwest Missouri have probably picked up on the most rain, as well as Delaware County. And of course, the River Valley is starting to see some of that now, but for the most part, this has kind of been the storms are here and then they die out or they move on. They haven't been lingering around. We saw those speeds. Those storms were moving in anywhere from 35 to 50 miles per hour throughout the rest of this afternoon and evening. So that's something we're thankful for. Again, safe to say the ceiling of the severe weather threat not met for our area.
Yes.
And we're thankful for that. Don't want to drop our guard, though. We still do have those severe thunderstorm warnings moving into the River Valley. We don't want to forget about you guys. We're continuing to keep an eye on that. But again, similar to Northwest Arkansas, these were dropped down to just base severe thunderstorm warnings. A lot of lightning with them. In fact, we might be able to see this from our Kisser FM where the bug network came out. I'm bringing
Good, yeah. Bring some of those. Let's focus on the Fort Smith region. So Northwest Arkansas, pretty much severe threat is down.
Yeah.
So we will probably focus on Northwest Arkansas a little bit less from now on unless something new pops up. But the River Valley is where we're going to shift our focus on now. So give me 1 second. You said Kisser FM.
Yep.
Also, how was everyone's day? How's everyone's 4th of July?
Yeah, hopefully you guys were able to get outdoors and
enjoy the afternoon. At least the afternoon
there were
was great.
Some of you were probably dodging raindrops. Not a lot of you, but depending on where you were at, there certainly was some afternoon pop-ups. This is a live look from Kisser FM, Dripping Springs.
Mm-hmm.
As those storms continue to fastly approach the camera, you can see. This is looking southwest. We can't look directly west, which would be the ideal threat, but we have the big tower in the way, of course. It's always in the way of your best storm view. But again, these storms are approaching. Do have severe warning, but again, not looking at any tornado threat. I know there was a question about that earlier. You answered. Just your base severe thunderstorm warning. Sporadic 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts are possible with these as they continue to move on south, but certainly not looking overly concerning as of right now.
I would say Fort Smith might actually get spared from some of the heavier rainfall too.
Yeah.
I will have to say, I'll show you guys here in just a little bit. Someone mentioned, I know in June my weather station had 11.04 inches for the entire month of June. Yeah, we had a decent amount of rain.
It might have been the guy I spoke to. I actually had a viewer call into the station asking about the rainfall totals at their own weather station on their property. And June was actually, for you guys that don't know, June was actually the second wettest June for Drakefield. So that's Fayetteville strictly. That was the second wettest June on record. Thankfully, we were nowhere near close to the record because that was certainly a year looking back. But
yeah, the record was like 14 inches.
Yeah, that is a lot. Yeah, so June was pretty active, of course, with May being not so active, kind of the other end of the spectrum. Okay, so we don't. It says, yeah, we'll try to keep an eye on that. If you're in the River Valley, you could send us some pictures and videos of the storms moving in from a safe distance. If you are from a safe distance, through our 479wx.com. We also have an app for that as well, where you can pull up videos. In fact, I'll show you an example of what we can do with that very powerful app. So it looks like we do have quite a bit of reports from Benton County. This will be, I'll bring up Dan's from earlier. So this is, of course, Chief Meteorologist Dan Scoff. Got the fireworks in the background, but notice the structure of this storm. See how quick we're able to pull this up? That goes directly to our Mega Doppler computer. And when we're live on air, it's hard to read, keep up with reports as we're covering severe weather. But with this, it comes right in front of us. You see low clouds coming through from Silent Springs. This was likely that outflow boundary that continued to pull through that shelf cloud. And behind that was likely a lot of rainfall, thunder and lightning. Looks like we got a report over here from Bella Vista. Thunder and lightning. Yep, Bella Vista getting in on some of the action. Making sure I didn't miss any of these. Lightning. Oh, check this out. Whoa.
That one's impressive.
Yeah.
Ooh.
What a shot. Yeah. That was over in Benton County from Matthew WX. Nice. We showed this one earlier, but yeah, just an example of what you guys can do. So pretty cool. I like the tool a lot. Certainly appreciative of it. Looks like we're getting some rain here across portions of Washington County now, central Washington.
Which I was going to mention, Steve from Tulsa, he mentioned, given the instability, there is a possibility of a storm or two that could flare back up in northwest Arkansas and need a warning. The storms from Sequoia County into Pittsburgh County, which is farther into Oklahoma, are moving into air still supportive of gusts to around severe criteria.
Well, you heard it here first. Still have the instability there. It makes sense because those storms kind of died over Adair in Delaware County and really pushed through Washington. So still a little bit of instability that's untapped for portions of northwest Arkansas, especially here where our station is at. So we'll continue to keep an eye on some of these cells that are firing off over in Washington County. But for right now, of course, just looking at what's happening now, main concern continues to be the River Valley.
Yes, and I have a storm track pulled up so that people can get an idea. Fort Smith around 11 p.m. So honestly, here in a few minutes. However, you guys are not going to see heavy rain if you live on the north side of Fort Smith and close to Interstate 40. However, anything further south than that, you might get a little bit of some heavier rain. Barling by 11:09 p.m. Greenwood 11:18 p.m. Charleston by 11:29 p.m. Boonville 11:42 p.m. Magazine 11:50. And then beyond the viewing region, Mina by 11:58. So honestly, it looks like the heaviest of this line should be moving out just before midnight, at least for our viewing region. Still keeping an eye on LaFleur and Scott and Logan County, especially, and also Franklin County. As for how these storms behave out on the eastern portions of the viewing region, just something to keep an eye on because they have been untapped for the most part in terms of storms from what I've seen today.
Yeah.
And like we saw some cells beginning to wanting to fire back up just around the Fayetteville region. So they also extended this downstream warning, as you guys just saw firsthand there. So let's go ahead and look at that right now. Yes, the Fort Smith one.
Yep.
Moving.
Now I'm noticing they didn't extend it very far.
No.
compared to what they were doing earlier.
It looks like they extended it out to the outflow boundary,
Yeah.
honestly, which I can't see it from mine. But if I go ahead and switch radars real quick, so give me 1 second, because now that it's closer to Fort Smith,
Yeah.
I could probably pull that up. There we go. There we go. So you see that outflow boundary, this green line that is right here? That's your outflow boundary, and it looks like they extended the severe thunderstorm warning out to that. Curious to see what the reasoning is for that. But they do expect wind speeds up to 60 miles per hour. Again, exactly like I mentioned, if you live on the south side of Fort Smith, you're going to see these heavy wind gusts. But if you live on the north side, you are pretty much going to get spared.
Yep. So that continues to be the most dangerous portion of the storm. But again, these are not overly concerning compared to what we've seen.
People are
given our
asking if
history.
Rogers can go to sleep. Honestly, yes. You will hear rain. You may hear lightning.
Yeah.
But severe potential, it's pretty much done and over with. Severe potential has been killed off for Benton County by the looks of it, honestly. So Benton County entirely can go to sleep. Go to sleep to some rain if you like.
Yeah, nothing impressive going on in Northwest Arkansas right
Yeah,
now.
still seeing that heavy rain as well in Berry County.
Yeah, they are. Berry County and the River Valley
Also-
getting the brunt of it. That would be my alarm.
Also have some lightning associated with that Berry County cell. So
Yep.
I have Mega Doppler pulled up.
So this is Purdy over towards Cassville. Some of these areas, actually in Butterfield and Purdy, actually had a couple of a pair of tornadoes back in June. But of course, not seeing any of that right now. Just some strong rain, severe thunderstorm warnings. These storms will continue to push off to the east, northeast. But they are dumping a lot of rain. That'll be an area to watch for any flash flood concerns. Just basic run-of-the-mill thunderstorm activity in Benton County, Washington County as well, and new flare-ups, but again, not really doing much. That is right along Greenland, West Fork, right along I-49. So if you're traveling, just keep that in mind. Again, still looking at the River Valley for the strongest of storms. That was a firework fired off just outside of our station. But Fort Smith region, you guys are about to get on some of the heavier action. That severe thunderstorm warning extending towards Pensacola, Greenwood, Poto as well. So northern LaFleur County bearing the brunt of the warning right now. It looks like one of those warnings was just dropped off. So this line continues to be on a weakening trend. You guys can see that warning box that was including portions of southern LaFleur County, or I should say maybe west central LaFleur County, has dropped off. So now it's just the Fort Smith region that we're concerned about as of right now, and southwest Missouri, Berry County to be specific. So that's certain. We'll continue to monitor that here over the next several minutes. This warning goes for another 14 minutes. We'll see if they extend this any further over towards southern portions of Sebastian and Scott County.
Someone asked is Berry County okay to go to bed?
Berry County, I would stay up just a little bit until this storm passes. It is still a severe thunderstorm warning. We want to drop our guard. It does, again, similar to the one down south. Not impressive. It's moving a little slower, so it could dump rainfall a little bit more. It is still a severe thunderstorm warning, but again, not very impressive. But maybe just keep your guard up until this storm fully dies down and calms down and leaves the area.
If you're
leaves the
okay with
county.
it being gusty,
Yeah.
and if you're okay with heavy rain and all this lightning, then yeah, you could probably go to bed, honestly.
But yeah, continuing to monitor these storms on Mega Doppler. But again, you guys can see not much going on elsewhere. Further back west, storms are still a little strong. Not expecting those to move towards our area, but again, stratiform rain behind this will continue the lightning and thunder and rainfall. So for some of you, it'll be very pleasant to go to sleep too, but for the most part, these are just your run-of-the-mill thunderstorms here across Northwest Arkansas. And again, no tornado potential. That outflow boundary well out front of this line of storms. So not seeing much in terms of tornadic activity whatsoever.
Yes. Someone asked, is it okay for Pea Ridge and Garfield area to go to bed? Oops,
Yep.
Give me 1 second before I respond to that. Honestly, I have it pulled up here. If you live in Pea Ridge, you are pretty much chilling, big chilling. Garfield, heavy rain, but after this heavy rain passes, you're also good to go to bed. Someone asked, is rain coming into Carroll County? Yes, I would believe it would come into Carroll County. We could see this rain across Benton County already beginning to creep in. It's still ways away west of Beaver Lake, honestly, and Eureka Springs, but this line looks like it's still expected to work its way through, and it's moving more easterly as well. Where are the storms headed? Someone said they just hopped on in. So right now, the storms up in Barry County, they're moving out towards the east. Honestly, a lot of these storms are moving out towards the east. However, the line that's out towards the River Valley region, it's taking more of a southeast direction, honestly, and moving in that motion. But there's still outflow boundary well ahead of it, so I would not expect. You could also see this line farther down south, the severe thunderstorm warning also just expired. Curious to see if they extended, but if they don't, that's honestly great. So right now, the only 2 severe thunderstorm warnings we have is this one right here that clips Spyro and Poto and is honestly just heavy over Spyro right now. And then you also have the other one in Barry County. Other than that, Northwest Arkansas is pretty much good. The main threats with these storms are any damaging wind gusts, but it's base severe thunderstorm warning, so we're talking winds of up to 60 miles per hour as of right now.
Yep. Keeping an eye back west. These storms are very far away on Mega Doppler. These that still have considerable tags, they are generally moving east-southeast as well at about 30 miles per hour. So that'll be something we watch in the long term. But for now, it looks like the severe weather threat is waning as these storms have kind of overworked some of the environment. Keeping an eye on Northwest Arkansas, but again, these are your run-of-the-mill thunderstorms. I think it's okay to go to sleep. They haven't really taken off. Again, Southwest Missouri, Barry County to be specific, still have that severe thunderstorm warning for another 10 minutes or so, but again, nothing overly impressive with that, as well as the storm down south in the River Valley.
Yes.
These are what a night, huh?
Definitely what a night. Yeah, you said you are in Branson. How does it look here? Good question, honestly. Right now, the main concern with the Branson area, you see this line coming through, could make its way farther east. And their main concern with, honestly, this line from Branson all the way down into northern Arkansas, for the most part, is heavy rain. So flash flooding potential is possible in some areas. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on, at least for the Branson area.
Yep.
Madison County, honestly, all up in the air, I want to say right now. While this line has weakened for the most part, it looks like these cells try to fire off and they are not too impressive. So honestly, that's really good for us. However, you do see more individual cells beginning to pop up little by little. That could make its way into Madison County. National Weather Service mentioned that some of those storms could possibly pulse up to severe, but only one can tell. Again, there have been no storms across Madison County, and I know some of the cap, or not the cap per se, but the Cape or instability is a little bit higher in that region. So
Yep.
we'll just keep an eye on it for right now.
But I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the environment on the latest meso.
Joplin, you guys have pretty much cleared in terms of rain. I have it right here. There was this cell off that just popped up to the east of Joplin. So you guys are actually in the clear, if you ask me. That cell completely missed you guys for the most part, unless you're in the eastern portions of Joplin, but you guys are good.
Starting to see that cap slightly come into fruition as well, just like he mentioned, especially in the River Valley.
Great. That's good news.
Yeah, so that's good news. So environment is not necessarily, super favorable for long-term severe weather as of right now.
Correct. Gentry, honestly, just some rain. Oops, there's a new severe thunderstorm warning. I can actually see it here. There we go. Barry County.
Yep.
An extension of that line. So, Mahala, you brought up the possibility of Branson and what's going to happen in Branson. Barely misses Branson, but as you could see, severe thunderstorm warnings do continue on just west of Branson for the most part. So that line is moving at 30 miles per hour, wind gusts up to 60, and quarter-size hail possible.
Yep.
McDonald County, besides some rain, which some of which could be heavy, you guys are pretty much good.
I'm willing to bet that the storms in southwest Missouri are a little stronger than the ones in the River Valley.
Here, I'll pull it up on Mega Doppler.
Just looks a little more impressive in terms of severe weather potential. But these are continuing to move off to the east at 30 miles per hour. Eventually, they'll be moving away from they're moving away from our viewing area, but we're still keeping those in mind, just in and around. I know Branson has a lot of viewers from here as well. But again, that severe thunderstorm warning extended, so we have another 35 minutes for that warning as it continues to push off to the east. Take a look at where our outflow boundary is. Yeah, well out ahead. So not expecting much in terms of any crazy weather over there outside of the base severe thunderstorm warning. It looks like that storm is getting a little closer to our Dripping Springs camera, but it's not going to hit it directly.
No, we'll just see a good
very
lightning
electrified.
display.
Further down south, looks like the strongest of the storms is moving just south of the River Valley. We're talking about the Pensacola area, Hackett. You guys will be getting in on some of that heavy rainfall. Poto, you guys have seen some of that heavy rainfall the past hour or so. This will continue to push over into Sebastian County and then eventually portions of Scott as well as Logan County in the future.
Indicator, what you're seeing about right now is pretty much going to be the story for the next few hours. So no severe weather expected, just some rain.
Yep. So again, these storms, they tried, but they didn't really take full advantage of the
which
environment,
I'm glad.
which
Honestly,
we're thankful for.
Hopefully this is the last of the severe thunderstorm warnings and everything dies out and everyone can actually go to sleep.
Still have looks like peak wind at Fayetteville, at the Fayetteville site, Airport Drake Field, 46 and 41 at XNA. So that's below severe limits.
Way below.
That's special weather statement criteria, which is what we have.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and that's until 11:15, so that expires in 5 minutes.
Yep.
Bentonville can go to sleep. West Fork and Greenland, will we see just thunderstorms? Honestly, maybe just some rain. There's no lightning across the Fayetteville or West Fork and Greenland region as far as we can see.
Yep.
Mahala mentioned it was cool having lightning in the distance with the fireworks going off. I saw a little bit of that earlier, except it was in Fayetteville, and it was pretty fun to say the least.
Yeah, that was
but
cool.
Thankfully, I was not close enough to the lightning where I'm like, maybe I should get inside.
So a pretty cool look on our Kisser FM camera.
Salem Springs is okay, just rain.
Mount Magazine could see this too.
Springfield area. You guys are outside of our viewing region, but we have plenty of time, so we can honestly look at it. There is a little bit of the storm coming through. Matter of fact, let me go to the Springfield radar. Looks like there's a severe thunderstorm warning that goes all the way up until 11:45 for the west of Springfield.
Check that out.
Radar indicated what's
that warning for LaFleur County and the River Valley was allowed to expire.
Nice. So yeah, Springfield wind speeds up to 60 miles per hour.
I have to show this.
If this line continues on through, then you could see an extension of the severe thunderstorm warning.
I have to show this real quick. This is Mount Magazine.
Oh, okay.
If I can find there it is. Okay, this is Mount Magazine. This is looking off to the west. And now Mount Magazine is high in the sky, a little higher in elevation. So those clouds are not as low as they look, but a very electrified scene here as those storms continue to push off into the River Valley, eventually approaching. They're moving into Sebastian County now. They've been in LaFleur County. They will be approaching portions of Scott County here over the next hour or so. And I am still keeping an eye on the storms that are still a little further out west. They do still have a little bit more of a thump to them on Mega Doppler. They are moving east, so generally speaking, that direction, non-rocket science, they would put it towards LaFleur, but that will be hours from now, and we expect the environment to be overworked, and those will eventually continue to weaken. So Right now, the only severe thunderstorm warning in our coverage area is technically Berry County.
Yeah.
So we'll continue as these storms move on through. And of course, we'll keep an eye on those storms further out west as well. But for right now, things are on a downtrend in terms of the severity of these storms.
Getting loud in ES. By ES, I assume it's Eureka Springs.
Yep.
Eureka Springs, we are good. Springfield area, we are also good. Salem Springs, we can go to sleep. Pouring in Garfield, yes, I believe it.
Mount Magazine is lit up with lightning with these storms.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool shot. Springfield said anything? Not really, nope. Yeah, not since 11:06. That was the new warning. So again, if you're just now joining us, we're continuing to track these storms as they push throughout our region. Everything has dropped below sub-severe limits except for the storms in southwest Missouri, and this is for Berry County.
Yes.
As we continue to track this storm, I'll switch radar here very briefly so we can see a better look at these storms. You can see Shell Knob about to get in on some of the heavier rain. Jenkins, you guys are about to see some of the heavier rains and stronger winds as well. Crane, Elsley, Galena, Reed Spring, I should say. That's technically out of our viewing area, but we have some viewers that are in and around this area, Branson as well. These may try to make a run at you, but the strongest portion of the storm seems to be just slightly north of Branson, but could still clip portions of Branson. But for right now, severe thunderstorm warning, the extension. So we got about another 30 minutes on this one as this storm continues to move off to the east at 30 miles per hour. So game of 30s here for Southwest Missouri.
I have Harrison pulled up so that
that'd be a
everyone
good
can get a
look.
good look. Lightning still well off in the distance, but you could see it right there. When is the second round expected in Arcoma? There's no severe or second round of storms expected. I know a few people mentioned that tonight, but honestly, this was just the main big event that we were expecting heading into Sunday.
Yeah. The only other storms that we're watching are the storms that are out west over in south central Oklahoma, over towards the Holdenville area. Those storms are moving east, but the thinking is those will lose their intensity similar to what these have done, especially since they're going to be working into an environment that is already pretty tapped with storms moving in right now.
Mm-hmm. It should be pouring over Garfield right now.
Oh, yeah.
It's pouring big time.
Wow.
Whew.
Check out that. Lit up with activity. That was a huge lightning strike.
Yeah.
Posey. Wow.
This camera's getting blasted as we speak, honestly.
Hopefully we don't lose it. Knocks on wood.
Knock.
Pretty bad luck with that. Pouring out in Garfield, Siloam, and Watts.
Looks like it is pouring in Garfield.
So Salem Springs, you guys are just seeing stratiform rainfall right now. Siloam and Watts. Stratiform rain, still some lightning and thunder, but just your run-of-the-mill summertime like thunderstorms. These are well below severe limits as of now. Very weak winds as well with those. Strongest storms in our area continue to be southwest Missouri, Berry County, as well as those storms. Severe warning was dropped in the River Valley, but those storms still have some heavy rain and gusty winds just below severe limits. But just east of Cassville, Jenkins, you guys are about to get hit with the strongest portion of this line of storms in Berry County. This will continue to move over towards Elsley and Crane further down the line. The severe thunderstorm warning has another 27 minutes remaining as those storms continue to push off to the east at 30 miles per hour. Further down south, still, again, sub-severe, but Posey Mountain continues to steal the show. Posey Mountain, Mount Magazine.
Is Huntsville getting anything severe as far as we can see? No.
Nope. Right now, Huntsville is not even raining.
Yeah.
yet.
It's not even raining, but even then, the rain off to the west is it's just rain, not even stormy for the most part.
Yep. So I'm looking at
the echo tops.
Yeah, echo tops storms, seeing how tall they are. That's usually an indication of how strong they are. Maybe some small hail with that, but
Pea-sized hail. Yeah, that's what we've seen thus far with some of the heaviest portions of the storms. It's just pea-sized hail.
Yeah.
Haven't seen any reports
that
bigger than that.
That explains why that risk was very low.
And like we've mentioned, if you guys have any videos, photos, fireworks, literally anything that you want to send, we have 479wx.com. It's very easy to sign up, and you could send your videos and photos through there, and we can pull it up through Mega Doppler as well. Both Northwest Arkansas, River Valley, wherever you are, honestly, we could get all those reports, even those in Missouri with the heaviest of this line. And even if you're all the way out in Branson, technically, you could still get on 479WX. It's not just confined to only within the counties in our viewing region. We can pull up reports beyond that as well.
Yep.
But yeah, let's go ahead, take a look.
OUN, latest messaging, OUN needs to extend the watch, which would extend it for us too. To avoid that, we are going to cancel the watch given the recent downward trends. So it looks like that severe thunderstorm watch that was in place for our Oklahoma counties will be canceled.
Yeah, OUN, I saw, well, one of my friends said they had like 90-mile-per-hour gusts over in Norman, and his power went out. So thankfully that's not our case, but yeah, south of Oklahoma City, Norman, they've been getting some serious storms. Brandon says, thank you for covering Berry County. Our house loves your weather team. Of course.
Check this out. Good news for that comment and everyone else. If you pull up Max 1, the watch is gone. We're thankful for that. So we just have this one severe thunderstorm warning in our coverage area, and it's for Berry County. And of course, we don't want to drop our guard, but we've been monitoring this very closely. Nothing very concerning, just 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, heavy rainfall, frequent lightning as it continues to push off towards Springfield, Highland. Maybe the extreme northern side of Branson may get in on some action, but for the most part, the strongest portions of the storm may miss you guys. But again, strongest portion of the storm, there are some flood advisories here and there, especially in far western Sequoia County, extending up just southwest of Tahlequah. But again, even flooding has been a minor concern. Just make sure you're keeping an eye on any puddles that may lie on the road, especially with family that may be traveling in and out of town, as this is a travel-heavy weekend.
Yes.
Switching things.
How is Bentonville going to be during the night? Good question. Bentonville, honestly, look at that stratiform rain that's happening out towards the west. If any of that makes its way eastward, then you would just see additional rainfall, but nothing heavy of the sorts. It was because when we would go look it up, one said it will come through the main one after 12 a.m. So what we think is, honestly, the future track that we've had, all the models, they were showing these storms to be well overnight. I'm talking like beyond 12 a.m., beyond 1 a.m.
Yeah, these storms were certainly, the models, they definitely show these storms after midnight. The earliest is 10 was the latest thinking. But then when we saw the storms fire off right around, it was about 6 or 7 p.m., not to be funny with the joke, but those storms, and they were mainly in far northern Oklahoma, north central Oklahoma, and southern Kansas. They grew upscale almost immediately. So that just let us know, okay, these storms are, this line is going to form a little bit faster than what the models were suggesting. Because originally, the models had little discrete cells, and that's why that 2% pocket was over Kansas before it had extended. But because the storms just grew upscaled immediately, that line definitely formed faster than what was originally thought. And that's why those storms moved in a little earlier. But thankfully, most of you guys were able to pop your fireworks. We certainly saw our fair share of views. Now it's Mother Nature's turn.
Yeah. I know. I was able to see fireworks myself too.
Yeah.
Northwest Arkansas Mall. Solid view, along with some lightning. Like you said, Mother Nature's fireworks. Love watching these guys. They do a great job when nobody else is live. They are. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Got to make sure you guys are covered, especially on the 4th of July.
I
People
know,
are
right?
out with family,
Right.
traveling on the roads, probably at this current moment.
Yeah, that was our whole thinking. These, when the storms were, of course, the storms were strong and they had considerable tags out west, but just wanted to launch the live a little early and get ahead of everything, knowing that there's a ton of people in and around, out and about. So just want to make sure you guys are safe. Let you guys know about the storms, even though we're glad they were on a weakening trend and they did not live up to their potential. We're happy about that.
Yeah, and we'll continue to look at the next radar scans. Honestly, typically our rule of thumb is we don't go off until all the severe thunderstorm warnings are just killed off and everything is on a downward trend. We still have the Berry County, or a good portion of Berry County, I should say, under that severe thunderstorm warning that we'll continue to keep an eye on. The heaviest of it is in the eastern portions already, which we can pull up real quick so that you guys can get a look at what we're looking at right now.
Yeah, now I will say, looking at radar, this storm is moving east at 30 miles per hour.
Yeah,
it don't feel like it because some of the same areas we've been calling out are still about to experience some of the stronger portions of wind and rain. Jenkins, I called you guys out about 5-10 minutes ago. Still getting in on some of that action. Is actually the strongest of it is actually, believe it or not, still off to the west a little bit. So that will continue to push over you guys here within the next few minutes. Purdy and Butterfield, we called you guys out a little earlier, those smaller communities, but worst of the line is further east of you guys. So even though the warning is still over you guys, strongest of the storm has passed you guys, as well as Cassville. We mentioned, I know there was a viewer mentioning in Branson. The line is still approaching Branson. We may have to watch this southern end, see if it gets a warning added to it, if it pulses up to severe limits, as this storm has continued to extend into Carroll County now. But for the most part, we're looking at winds right now. If it goes severe, sporadic wind gusts of 60 miles per hour. But for right now, looks like the strongest portion of the storm remains in north central Berry County.
Someone also asked about Fort Smith. How's it looking down there?
Yep, we can zoom out in Fort Smith. Just switch radars real quickly. I love how quick this is now.
I know.
It's so quick. I like to keep it on
we
there.
We got a new computer from Mega Doppler, and she's been very speedy, to say the least.
Yeah. So Fort Smith, most of the rainfall and heaviest rain. Now, this is a little bit of a radar hole. We're very close to right, if not right on top. But most of the strongest storms did pass just south of Fort Smith. Maybe the south side of the town got in. But Pecola, Hackett, maybe Barling, you guys are in the radar hole, so hard to tell. But Pecola and Hackett, again, portions of Sebastian County getting in on some of the heaviest rainfall. Greenwood, you guys will be next in line. But again, these storms now down here have been on a weakening trend, sub-severe, but still have some heavy rainfall, maybe some wind gusts upwards of about 40 miles per hour or so.
Mm-hmm.
And further down to the south central of Florida County, don't want to forget about you guys, over towards Heavener, Wittsboro, Tallahena. I believe that's how you say that. Yeah, I believe so. Correct me if I'm wrong. But some heavier rainfall, pockets of heavy rainfall. But again, all the storms are sub-severe for our area, except for McDonald County. Now, I am curious to see if this storm in Carroll County will pulse up. The lightning activity has increased a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't be surprised if this gets added to the next severe thunderstorm, or if they extend this one. It has another 18 minutes. It looks like this will continue to follow the parent cell and move off to the east. So not severe just yet, but Oak Grove, Berryville, you guys are getting in some light to moderate rainfall, some lightning strikes. Eureka Springs as well. Oak Grove further downstream, maybe you guys get in on some of the storm activity for certain. We'll watch this area to see if it goes severe. But for right now, things are pretty tame for Northwest Arkansas. Southwest Missouri is what has our eye, and specifically Berry County.
Yes. Someone also asked, Catherine, can I ask you a question? How do you know when you see a tornado on the radar?
Oh, this is perfect.
It's a really good question.
Yeah, really good question. I'll let you go.
Okay, so first thing we look at is the storm relative velocity for sure.
I'll just show examples as we go through.
Yes.
Thankfully, we don't have an example of a supercell on radar.
Yes, and so if you zoom out a little bit more, which radar are we on?
We are on Fort Smith. Yep.
So the red is letting you know it's going away from radar,
Yep.
and the green is letting you know it's going towards radar. Now, typically when we look for is a good meetup of these greens and reds, but they have to be like a very tight couplet is what we call it.
Yep.
And so when they interact in a way, that's when we can kind of tell there's rotation. But a good giveaway to honestly a tornado on radar is your correlation coefficient. It lets you know if there is debris being lifted aloft, and typically we'll see like a blue little dot on the correlation coefficient, and that lets you know right then and there's like a tornado on the ground. So typically when
Yep.
people are like, yes, there's radar confirmed tornado, then
Yep.
that's because of that CC drop happening.
You also, for the reflectivity side of things, when we're looking at rainfall,
Correct.
it's not a dead giveaway, but it does let you know that the storm has some structure. If you see a cell, we call it a hook echo on radar in the weather world. But if there's a storm on radar that kind of looks like it has a C shape to it, like the letter C, and that shows you it could have a little bit of rotation.
And that's
maybe some
something we would
inflow.
typically see maybe with a supercell
Yep.
or maybe a little bit of a hook that's with storms interacting. However, with the QLCS, it's an entirely
Yeah,
different
QLCS
situation that we probably won't even get into right now.
looks like our Fox show is airing right now as we speak.
Oh, yeah, it is.
That was
Game
the
finally
tape
over.
show you guys saw us film earlier.
Someone said we were driving through Cassville about 20 minutes heavy. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I believe
Yeah,
it.
so-
So definitely take that into consideration, guys, for anyone who still might plan to drive around during this time, especially as they leave their families' homes or family friends or friends, wherever you go and are
So it
headed
looks like-
home.
So this storm is still below severe limits in Carroll County, but it does have a special weather statement tagged to it. And basically that just means it's still a strong storm, but it's sub-severe. It's moving, my goodness, it's moving east at 10 miles per hour,
Oh, that's so
but wind
slow.
gusts upwards of 40. So flooding could be a little bit of a concern over in Carroll County with these storms, Carroll and Berry County, as these storms are moving a little bit slower with some heavier pockets of rainfall. That'll be certainly something we continue to watch. The area that I was mentioning with 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts is Carroll County, the storm. So Eureka Springs, Beaver, Berryville, this area is the storms that we're monitoring right now. Severe thunderstorm warning still going for Berry County for another 15 minutes. That will expire here at 11:45 unless it needs to be extended. So we'll continue to monitor that. But these storms certainly much slower, it seems, than earlier.
Yes.
The storms were moving almost at highway speeds.
And like
out
you
west.
mentioned, with that slowing down, flash flooding potential will be possible, especially along this region. That includes Southwest Missouri, at least beyond Berry County or along the eastern portions of Berry County. So where that line is right now. And we'll see if this has an impact on Boone County as well.
Yeah. Holds together, it certainly will. Harrison probably has a cool view from this.
Yes, Harrison is actually already looking that way. So let's go ahead, point Harrison out there right now. Give me one quick second. I got it.
Boom.
There we go. Still lightning off in the distance,
Yeah.
but
Still a little ways away, but
Mhm.
yeah. And this storm, the lightning, I will say the lightning has upticked with this storm as well. So that's something we'll continue to watch. Didn't necessarily storm a lot in Carroll County earlier, so likely still have some instability left over.
is Bentonville okay just now joining? Yes, you guys can go to sleep. Just some rain. You love the red shirt. Thank you, honestly. Every time I wear like a red shirt, people are like, oh yeah, it looks like that on you. I still hear fireworks in Fort Smith. Probably not the brightest idea. With rain
Yeah,
and lightning.
Maybe not the
and-
best light show you'll get over in Fort Smith, at least not from the fireworks. The heaviest rain is further south, though, depending on which side of Fort Smith you're on. But there is still some stratiform rain about to move in with sporadic lightning strikes. So, yeah, maybe bring those inside.
Yeah. Raining hard in Eureka Springs, I bet. But any tornadoes? No.
No tornadoes whatsoever.
Springdale, we're good, guys.
Crisis averted.
Go to sleep.
Yep, Springdale's fine.
Don't talk about QLCS rotation. Dan will rise from the smoke and bust out his QLCS graphic in a hot second.
He will.
Every time,
He will.
without fail.
You know, Dan actually surprised me on the stream earlier because I didn't have my phone nearby, so I had no clue he was going to pop on. So when he joined, I thought I clicked the wrong button or something. I was taking
that's
it back,
funny.
but yeah, Dan was viewing some storms from Bentonville in safe distance with the family and friends. Love our weather team.
In meteorologist mode, even went up in Bentonville.
I know, right?
Making sure everyone's safe. Oh yeah, that stuff has.
So yeah, again, yeah,
died.
those storms down in South in the River Valley, they've really been on a weakening trend, similar to what we saw in Northwest Arkansas. Dare I say the Fayetteville fizzle? I think that's safe to say.
Let me go ahead and pull up the satellite and radar imagery, and then just go back 3 hours, just to give everyone an idea. And
look how strong those storms were out west versus when they moved in.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
So strong. In fact, look at this. This was earlier. We had a little bit of a 2% risk.
Yeah,
that updated.
I did see that earlier. I'm trying to pull this up. Give me 1 second, guys, as I try to find this.
Yeah, stand by. Continuing to monitor the storms, of course. Keeping a close eye on radar. Things don't look overly impressive as of right now. Dan said dud.
Yeah, because it was a dud.
Yeah. I'm curious about those storms out west. I'll check here off stream. Stand by. See if they're still moving off to the east. Still have some considerable tags on them. Way out of our coverage area. It'll take a long while to get here if they even hold together, but not expecting that. Moving east 30 miles per hour. So I'll keep a very close eye on that.
Okay. Look at the monster.
Yeah.
Of a line this was.
And even before that, it was destructive and considerable.
I'll go back even more. There you go.
Yeah, I was like,
see that light brown?
Yeah.
That was your considerable. There's your brown. Destructive.
Yeah. And then just nope.
And so that's what we were paying attention to.
Yep. Launched a live right there.
Very close to Delaware County. Here we go by 9 o'clock. Look at all the severe thunderstorm warnings that were being issued just for this line, on and off, on and off. And also had a little bit of a cell that got severe storm warned by the looks of it in Springfield. Very disconnected from the rest of the line.
Yeah.
Oh well, we go over here. Yeah. So yeah, that's the scene we had. And then Delaware County, we were just keeping an eye on for sure, just because of how heavy and electrified these storms were.
Look how they fizzle out though.
Like, yeah, look at that. Zoom in real good right here.
Get into Benton and Washington County and they just die.
look at that. Like people say the Fayetteville fizzle.
The state line
look
has
at that.
protected us.
Big time, man.
Fayetteville fizzle.
Now, perfect. Springfield.
Maybe not so much for them.
McDonald and Barry had that singular cell that popped up in Benton County, interacted with those cells, and now moving towards the east, and that's what we're paying attention. But look at how it's just slowed down and still heavy there. We do see flash flooding concern,
unfortunately,
for that region.
Like the Springfield enhancement.
And then and then here we go, River Valley, that line.
Dead.
Look at that fall apart.
Dunzo.
Yeah, so I would not expect any additional severe storm warnings for River Valley. Honestly, you guys can go to sleep.
Yep. The storm over in Carroll County.
There's a severe storm warning. Now that we're on this, let's go ahead and go to it right now.
That is Carroll.
There we go.
Oh, no, it's not.
No, it's actually Barry. So it looks like they extended that severe thunderstorm warning just north of Branson, but still includes Barry County.
Yep.
It's very hard to kind of tell exactly where that is. So let me go ahead and turn this off again. 60 miles per hour by the looks of it.
Northeastern, well, just eastern Barry
Moving
County.
northeast at 40.
Okay, picking up speed a little bit.
Picking up speed, wind gusts at up to 60, but let me go ahead with the pointer. There we go. So you see where the pointer is?
The storm does continue to build south a little bit into Carroll County, a little further south now. Now we're getting closer. It was over towards Berryville. Now we're seeing cells just to the east or to the west of Rule and Green Forest. That'll be certainly something we continue to monitor. Yeah. Here's Mega Doppler. So you can see the orientation, that storm continuing, still building a little bit into Carroll County as well, further south. This is, what highway is this? US Highway 62. So that'll be certainly something we continue to monitor. This does have a tag for 40 mile per hour winds. So that is sub-severe and pea-sized hail, if that. So again, the only severe thunderstorm warning for our region right now is Berry County in southwest Missouri, which of course is just north of Carroll County. And that continues to move off to the east at northeast, picking up speed a little bit, like we said, 40 miles per hour now. So that'll continue to move out of our region here in the short term. See if I pull up any latest messaging.
No, there
Storms.
hasn't been any new messages because now
Got
this
one.
is
Storms are intensifying in Carroll County as the outflow moves through local max instability. Storms could get near severe before getting clear of the county.
so. There we go.
So that's what we're continuing.
There's
to
that
monitor.
possibility.
Yep. And it does look that way too. The storms, it does have some heavy rainfall over towards Berryville. We called out Oak Grove quite a while ago, but that eventually these will be moving towards you guys. Mega Doppler showing somehow we're a little further away, so we'll see how true that is. But Mega Doppler showing a little bit of hailstones with this cell back building in Carroll County, upwards of nickel size. So safe to say that pea-sized hail is certainly falling, maybe potentially a little larger than that over the strongest portion of these cells. It does necessarily look, it does match up with reflectivity. So we'll continue to monitor that. I wouldn't be surprised, like we just said, if this cell does go severe warning briefly. It looks like that's where we have the greatest instability as of right now. So that's why we're focusing on our far northern counties, because everything south of this line is just garden variety storms.
So there's the lightning from Harrison that is pointing out to the northwest, actually.
And it certainly is a light show. Very bright.
So yeah, that is, if I put it to the west, then it'll kind of get in the way of the tower. So unfortunately, I can't do that. Let me see if I could pull up Garzy or Garfield. I like mixed up Posey and Garfield,
no,
so
right.
I said Garzy. You can toad spin.
Is Fayetteville done for the night? Yes. In terms of severe weather, Fayetteville's done. Only just light to moderate rainfall is what we call stratiform rain is behind the main line. Some lightning strikes still here and there, so don't want to be outdoors, but severe weather is done for Fayetteville.
Yes.
Really all of Northwest Arkansas. Just monitoring Carroll County and points eastward of this current cell.
Enid, Oklahoma canceled their city fireworks show tonight because of the storms they got.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if a lot of Oklahoma towns and cities they had to cancel.
They had
Looks
to.
like a lot of Northwest Arkansas ones and River Valley went through. In fact, some people pushed it earlier just so that people were able to get home in time, which was honestly the best call.
Yeah.
I know Farmington was the only one, at least from what I saw, that did postpone theirs to tomorrow at 9 o'clock, I believe.
Yeah. So hopefully everyone got their fireworks out in time.
Do you guys know why we are getting storms like this so late into the year? Honestly, this is more of like a
typical. These are not the, how can I explain? Not the same severe kind of setups we saw in spring, in prime spring.
So what happened, as far as we were aware, was a ridge was slowly beginning to build up in the southwestern portions of United States. Now, with that has been leading into the possibility for some northwest flow, similar to like what we saw in June. You know how we saw a lot of these systems come through over and over. This is a little bit of that same situation. Now, climatologically speaking, I don't know how it's like in July for Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley, just because we are still relatively new to the area. So it's not like we can compare it to last year or the year before, just because we don't have that firsthand experience. I'm sure Dan will be able to tell you more about the climatological aspect of it, but
yeah, I was going to say, you mentioned that ridge. We did have a ridge of high pressure off into the southeast of the country as well. That was what we call a dirty ridge, as Chief Meteorologist Dan Scoff says, because there were still some thunderstorms, quite a few of them that fired off underneath that ridge, numerous watches and warnings. But that ridge started to break down. And like Alessia said, because of that, we're starting to get a little bit better of some jet stream energy. And that's why storms are able to organize just a little bit better now compared to the past couple of days where we only had those isolated and pop-up storms. So that's what's going on. Lightning coming up in Carroll County as the storm approaches severe. Yeah, I was just about to say that. The lightning strikes in Carroll County have certainly increased last scan. So I wouldn't be surprised if this goes severe here. Let's see how tall. Yeah, 40,000 feet for the cloud tops. That'll do it. Still had that severe thunderstorm warning for Berry County, especially eastern central Berry County. That storm's continuing to move northeast at 40 miles per hour. About 30 minutes remaining on that storm. We may see an additional severe thunderstorm warning for this cell over in Carroll County. We'll continue to monitor that.
Yes.
It is pushing towards Oak Grove as we speak. Urbanet, I think that's how you say that, getting some the strongest portion of the storm right now. Still some moderate to heavy rainfall over towards Eureka Springs, but it looks like the strongest portion of the storm is beginning to move off to the east of you guys and off to the east of Berryville as well. Although there may be a brief break, but more rain on the way for Berryville. This line kind of has like two legs to it, this cell. So still raining over towards Beaver, Eureka Springs, then a little bit of a break along Highway 62. But as you head towards Berryville and then Green Forest, kind of picks back up again. So we'll continue to monitor that. Still sub-severe as of right now.
Yes.
Said Hugo just gusted to 46 miles per hour. Severe storms in south central Oklahoma will run into the rain-cooled air in our area and tend to weaken.
Yeah,
so
that does not include us. That's all the way out lake.
Yeah, so that's that. But I was mentioning those.
It's going on to Texas, basically.
Yeah.
He did mention lightning coming up in Carroll County.
Yep.
Like we saw from the Harrison camera. Again, let me pull up Harrison once more so that people can get a good view of that.
So again, these storms well on a weakening trend. Northwest Arkansas, specifically Benton, Washington County, you guys can go to bed. Stratiform rain. Those cells that could have gotten going over in Madison County looks like the cells preferred Carroll County. Wow, we just got a huge lightning strike on Posey Mountain.
Oh, Posey's been getting striked.
I almost thought it went out, not gonna lie. It froze for
Posey is facing out towards the east right now, and
yep, so that's looking at
still seeing
cell.
a lot of lightning associated.
Yep, a lot of activity. In fact, Huntsville may have a good view of this too.
Point
the
north. Airport.
Yeah, Huntsville, pointed north.
Northeast.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe north.
Oh yeah, I'll go north. It's right there, yeah.
Yeah, north and northeast. So you have Huntsville Airport.
Yep. Yeah, northeast pole, so I'll keep it north.
I'll do the middle school since the airport does the black and white. Look at that.
So this is a look right into the cell that we're watching over in Carroll County.
Definitely
very electrified.
Storm.
Yeah.
Fayetteville is done, Jenna. You can go to sleep. You can go to sleep.
Yeah. So if you're just now tuning in, this is a live look from our Huntsville Middle School WeatherBug Network camera. Now, Huntsville is in Madison County, but is looking off to the north over towards the storm that's moving through Carroll County right now, especially the northern side of Carroll County. Talking about Eureka Springs, Beaver, Oak Grove, Berryville, Urbanet, some of the main towns. Zooming in a little more, we got Pleasant Ridge, Oak Hill, Grandview, High, Maple. You guys are getting in on some of the heaviest rain. So far, the storm has stayed below sub-severe, but lightning has intensified on this storm, which let us know that the storm is increasing in terms of strength. Maybe it pulses up to severe briefly, or maybe just shy of it, and it continues to be just shy of it as of right now, as we continue to monitor. And then over in Berry County, it finally looks like this storm is starting to lose its steam, at least for the portions of our coverage area, but it kind of looks like the storms to the south are a little stronger now.
Yeah.
So we'll continue to monitor that, but that severe thunderstorm warning does have another 28 minutes remaining as those storms continue to push off to the east, northeast.
Of course, Jenna.
Wow, I just saw a very good strike on
Huntsville. Yeah, let's go back to the Huntsville, because right now, for the most part, besides a little bit of Berry County being clipped by a severe thunderstorm warning, everyone else along from Benton, let's just say Benton, Washington County, Crawford, Franklin, Scott County, honestly Logan County, because I don't think anything will necessarily pop up in Logan County either.
Nope.
Looks very quiet out towards Franklin County. Right now, at least for what we can see, we're keeping an eye on Carroll County at the current moment. But east of Eureka Springs, for those wondering.
Those storms, if you were wondering, down south in the River Valley are starting to turn in just stratiform rain. Still some pockets of heavier rainfall, but those have been sub-severe for quite a while, and it doesn't look like they'll post back up to severe at all, especially with that frontal boundary, or that outflow boundary, I should say, far ahead. Now, I will say, I switched radars a little bit, so this is looking back. So I'll switch back to the Springfield for the Carroll County storm. Just looks a little better. Still seeing some heavier rainfalls, heavy pockets of rain. Berryville, Urbanette now getting in on the action. Berryville, a little bit of a break in terms of the heaviest rainfall, but there could be another round back over towards Eureka Springs that moves in following US Highway 62. But yeah, we're continuing to monitor this area. Again, looks like things are trending down. In fact, that's funny. Some of the emergency management officials are saying goodnight over in Slack.
Yeah.
Sebastian County shutting down. Yeah. But again, this is a very large, oh my goodness. I didn't realize how large this severe thunderstorm warning was. It goes from north of Springfield all the way down to Branson.
It's a big one. It's a big one, and that goes all the way out until 12:15 too. So I wonder if
I'm curious if they'll crop it though, because it looks like the strongest portion. It looks like the storms are kind of split. Strongest of it looks to be north or out of Berry County, and then you have the Carroll County storm that could pulse up. But
yeah, it is interesting how
the strongest of it, strongest of it looks to be south of Springfield.
Even with the newest scan, from what I'm seeing, at least through Max, big time split.
Yeah. Good news for us.
Yeah, but it's good news until we have Carroll County added into the mix.
Yeah, I know, right?
Just hopping back on, what's going on for Carroll County? Just got a notification from Dan on my phone. So right now there is no severe thunderstorm warning out for Carroll County just yet. We're keeping an eye on this portion of the line. They had a severe thunderstorm warning out in Berry County. Some heavy rain over Eureka Springs. They did mention it's pulsing a little bit up to severe. Honestly, between a couple of highways on this, Highway 21, 221, 143, 62, 103 might potentially get impacted by this line right here. So we're keeping an eye to see what happens. Has definitely increased since 11. I mean, look at that. There was pretty much no rain in Carroll County at the beginning of the hour. And then you could see this line just kind of popping up out of nowhere. Now is beginning to move in a little bit eastward. Actually, looks like it's kind of like, it's very slow moving, I want to say. So stalling out just a little bit. And our main concerns from here on out, especially for Carroll County, maybe potentially into Boone, is flash flood.
Yeah. The storms not moving as fast as they once were a little earlier. Still got some pockets of heavier rainfall with them. Some very isolated, localized flash flooding possible, especially on some of those back roads that may be a little lower in elevation as well. So again, if you're doing any traveling, especially in this portion of the coverage area, just make sure you're keeping that in mind, taking it easy if you have to be on the roads overnight tonight, especially with some of those wet spots. Maybe a little hard to see with, of course, it being nightfall. But yeah, just make sure you're keeping that in mind. If you have any questions elsewhere for about Northwest Arkansas, you can go to bed. The severe threat is over with. Really across the entire viewing area, it seems the severe threat is over with. We're mainly focused on Carroll County and Berry County for right now. That's where the strongest activity is. So that's something we'll continue to watch. Our typical rule of thumb is usually once all of the severe warnings drop off, we drop off and say goodnight. We haven't seen that quite just yet. Don't want to drop our guard. Keeping an eye on this. But again, right now, it looks like the storm over in Carroll County, although it has posted up in terms of lightning strikes, it looks like it's struggling to maintain in terms of severe aspects. So that may be
Honestly,
some
that's
good
really
news.
great because
that's
if
good
it
news.
struggles, then
Drops off.
yeah, I'll show that though.
Yeah, it looks
I'll
like
show that.
yeah, Hellcore kind of come down a little bit as well too.
There we go.
So
I was
yeah, this
pulling up.
a little earlier we had some of that, even
Up to
maybe
nickel
potential
size.
nickel,
That, yeah.
little, maybe even a tiny pie. You know, Megadopolis was slightly overdone. But,
Yeah.
about pea size right now, maybe some dimes in there, but for the most part, not looking as impressive as it did a few scans ago, where we had some of those.
And typically
Peak
to
colors.
pulse up to severe, you need quarter size.
Yep, quarter sized and
Quarter size.
and or
60,
50. Yep.
60.
Yeah, 50. It's 58, but yeah,
Oh,
60.
60 because they
Yeah.
always put in the
Yeah.
I'm always used to 60, but yeah, 58. But yeah, it looks like probably won't pulse up to severe then if that little hail core that we saw just dropped down, which is honestly really great.
Yep. What you're seeing me do is look at a bunch of different stuff.
Let's go back to let's check out Huntsville. Airport, it's in black and white. Let's put a little bit of color to that. Huntsville Middle School. Definitely electrified. Do you think there will be anyone out there still throwing fireworks at this time?
I hope not.
Yeah.
There could be. Well, I'll be honest. If you live in Boone, Newton, Johnson counties in southern Madison County, for now, maybe you're still popping fireworks, and if you haven't already, but most people tend to pop the fireworks before midnight as after midnight.
So it looks like they issued a special weather statement, and Steve from National Weather Service, Tulsa, is still typing right now. So let me go ahead, pull up Mega Doppler. Let me read through this. That special weather statement goes until 12:45.
Okay.
So a long time from now on.
Yeah. That storm that's not moving.
Because movement was east at 10 miles per hour. Wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour and penny size hail.
All right.
So yeah, that's what they said. Steve is still typing away.
Well, continuing to monitor this storm then.
Yeah. Omaha, honestly, you're probably it's hard to tell just because this line is so slow moving.
Nice.
So if they said 10 miles per hour, let me go ahead. Of course.
Huntsville has it's every time we take the camera off Huntsville or take the stream off Huntsville, we just have quite an anvil crawler on Huntsville. And it had a red hue to it too.
Oh, really?
I always wondered that about lightning strikes. Like where back home, you typically just get the normal lightning strikes. But my first time traveling to Georgia, southern Georgia, and then Florida, that was my first time where I saw lightning strikes of different colors, like blues, reds, yellows.
I don't think I've ever seen a different.
You've never seen
color,
them different?
No.
Yeah.
No.
And of course, the clouds play a role into that of like just your angle, of course, as well as air particles.
Yeah. I'm
sure that's why it gives off that hue, but it was cool to see.
Okay, let me go to weather, or Max 2, I should say. Rebecca, it'll be a long ways before this line even reaches Omaha. 1:26 in the morning. And even then, by the looks of it, of course, we're still going to see instability go away with time. Cap continue to get stronger.
Yep.
So I would not expect much from this cell moving into Boone County by the looks of it. It tried pulsing up to severe and it didn't. So I would assume that would be the case for the rest of these storms from here on out. But yeah, you're good, at least from what I see right now in Omaha. Oh my goodness.
And that would be a firework.
These fireworks are okay. So we're hearing fireworks outside of the station right now, and the one we heard almost just sounded like a bomb. If you ask me, that was very concerning. I don't even know how close that was, but that was a big one.
It sounded like it was right outside the wall.
You ever see those jokes of fireworks where they're like, when your neighbor sets off the one firework that was probably illegal? That's exactly what that firework we heard just sounded like.
And then
big old explosion. That was insane, but sorry.
Yep, continuing to monitor this cell.
Again, it looks like the main concern from here on out. Okay, look at that. Storms in Carroll County, you already thumbs that up. So far leveled off just under severe criteria. Heavy
Good.
rain, flash flood potential, possibly, but
if that.
if that, but I mean it is slowing down, so
Storm,
that's
yeah.
where it becomes a concern. But honestly, even the line in Berry County,
Yeah, I think
Berry
Berry
County's
County
definitely-
will be cropped out of the warning here pretty soon.
Berry County, you guys are pretty much in the clear.
They may either crop it or just let it expire. It has 17 minutes left.
Again, very slow moving portion of the line.
Yeah, and then for the Carroll County storm, my goodness, that was not English. Carroll County storm that Leslie just alluded to, leveled off just below severe limits. So still got some gusty winds and small hail likely, but again, not severe criteria. So we'll continue to stay on until the warning drops off, and then we will leave you to the rest of your 4th of July evening, which is only for another 2 minutes.
Another 2 minutes. Hopefully, everyone, maybe you'll have a great 5th of July.
Yeah, if your 4th of July was spoiled by Mother Nature, hopefully your 5th of July is a little better.
Pouring in green forest. Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah. There you go. Green forest.
Zoom in specifically for you guys. And this is also US Highway 62. Yep.
Oh, Den. He's coming over here.
Huh.
Red and purple lightning happening in the south due to humidity.
Nice.
Nice. All thanks to the air you can wear.
Rayleigh scattering. Yeah.
Well, no wonder why. Because I don't.
Well, yeah. Being
I'm
in
from
Ohio,
the Midwest. Yeah, the only
humidity.
time it's humid was during corn sweat season, which I don't know how much people heard about that down here, but even then, yeah, we didn't have storms like that would cause such a thing.
It's so cool to see.
Well,
Maybe
now I
if
know,
you go to you'll definitely see it, of course, in Florida.
Maybe in the future.
Yeah.
Let's go back. So we have Huntsville real quick, and we also have Harrison. Which one's got a? Ooh, I don't know. Huntsville one is.
Like Huntsville just is bright. Yeah, Huntsville one. Off of that strike right there.
Well. So yeah, it's quiet, guys, for the most part. Honestly, these storms died off quickly, which is honestly great for us.
Yep.
Really great, let's just say. And Northwest Arkansas can go to sleep. Fort Smith, River
they issued
Valley
a new
can go to
warning
sleep.
out ahead of this other warning that was in over towards Springfield, but they didn't crop out the other one, so they may just allow it to expire.
Which is not for another
14 minutes. Yeah. Moving northeast at 40.
Interesting.
Yeah. So if you're just now joining us for these garden variety thunderstorms, the only severe thunderstorm warning we have technically in our coverage area is for Berry County, but that storm has significantly weakened as it continues to push off to the northeast. A little bit of a split with those storms. We have a stronger storm in Carroll County right now, not severe criteria, just shy of that, with 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts, as well as some small hail. Nothing concerning in terms of tornadic potential whatsoever. These are all undercut. That's certainly something we'll continue to monitor. But yeah, weak winds as these storms continue to push off to the east.
Hey guys, I need to take my grandbabies home to Westville, and I am in Prairie Grove. Is it okay for me to drive?
If you're okay with driving and just
in rain, then I think you'll
say
be good.
Say yes, but severe wise, things are
just be very cautious, because once you're driving down to Westville, the rain will pick up a little bit more.
Yep.
Just because, as we can see, literally between Oklahoma and Arkansas, the differences. Rain is very, very clear there. But
you got Adair County picking up on some good.
If you have your experience driving in rain, then I think you should be okay. But of course, just drive very carefully.
Yep.
On the way down to Westville.
Speaking of that, good time to check on the River Valley as well. Still got some pockets of heavier rain in LaFleur County, but again, all of this is sub-severe stratiform rain. Those storms have died out significantly. Strongest storm continues to be Carroll County for our area. even though Berry County is technically the ones underneath a severe thunderstorm warning, those storms have definitely went off to the northeast a little bit. Berry County, you guys are starting to calm down in terms of the strongest storms. For our viewing area, the strongest storm now is Carroll County.
If you look towards Newton County too, if you zoom out a little bit, cells beginning to pop up there too. So I'm curious to see what those cells do.
And it looks like that's an extension of this.
Yes,
line.
correct.
Yep.
So we'll keep an eye on that. But yeah.
Yep. So we'll see how those storms behave. This storm may try to extend further south and become its own line.
Yeah, of course, Hannah. Be safe. Go back to that Huntsville because
that would eventually be Little Rock, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Once it gets there.
Newton is Little Rock's region.
Still a very electrified storm at the least. Huntsville lit up, enjoying the light show from Mother Nature. If she stole from your fireworks show, yeah, it does look like those storms are building into a line over across Carroll County and into northern Newton County, just like you mentioned.
Well, I hope everyone had a great 4th of July. We know it's definitely been quiet on the stream.
Yeah, happy 5th of July. We got about 4,000 people watching. Wow.
Yeah.
You guys missed the best fireworks display in DC ever. I had a friend that texted me and said that they were lighting the sky on fire in DC. So I was kind of scared. I didn't know exactly what he meant by that, but I was hoping he meant fireworks. He used a little bit of a different language that I won't be allowed to say here on stream, but hopefully everyone in DC is okay and just enjoy the light show. Lots of lightning and thunder, but no rain in Berryville. Yeah, that was that little break we were talking about a few moments ago.
Yeah.
Some lighter rain beginning to move closer to Berryville, though, as we speak. But the heaviest of it is definitely off to you guys' east now. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. Looks like the allergies are beginning to creep back in, huh? You know, I did show the allergy count, the pollen count earlier this week.
Oh, did you?
Those mold spores are back in the very high category. Have a good night, Steve. And the National Weather Service is beginning to switch off their shifts. So technically speaking, we have about another 10 minutes or so before that warning is dropped off, and then we'll be able to drop off pending what these storms look like over the next 10 minutes here. And we'll continue to keep an eye on it. It doesn't look like lightning is falling off as of right now.
Of course. Hope you have a quiet night too, Tom.
Lots of people going to bed.
How bad is it getting in Centerton? Honestly, Centerton is good. Rain coming in, but other than that, it's just stratiform rain.
Yep.
Y'all are burning the midnight oil for sure. Thank you for everything you do. Y'all need a pay raise for sure.
Get some rest.
Fireworks. Yes.
Nice.
Get some rest and enjoy your Sunday. You too, Jim.
Yeah, you too, Jim.
It's pouring down in Green Forest, but people are still popping fireworks. How? Why?
Maybe not the best idea.
Just with all the lightning. Look, Huntsville is facing out towards...
Yeah. Those lightning strikes are right over Green Forest. Strongest portion of this storm is from Blue Eye on the state line down through Oak Grove, down towards Green Forest.
Oh, look, there was a CG on Huntsville too, off in the distance. See,
Wow.
look,
Yeah,
that's probably not the brightest. Look.
Yeah,
You're mixing explosives with lightning. I don't know what the actual science will be if those two were to combine, but
Probably
let's
not
just
good.
say I would not want to be the one out there to find
Yeah,
out.
probably dangerous. We're continuing to see some of this those cells over in northwestern Newton County fire off. Some of the higher elevations, Ponca. You guys getting in on some of that action. Stoverville, Beechwood, some of the smaller communities. Don't want to leave you guys out as well. This looks like this storm is continuing to build a little south from Carroll County into Newton County, Leslie, as you alluded to a few moments ago. So
yeah, I'm curious if those storms will even pulse up to severe slightly.
Yeah, we'll monitor it. Right now, they're pretty tame, but they are just getting started. No lightning so far, but
is that
we'll
report east of Huntsville new or no?
No, that was 2 hours ago.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so far, sub-severe. Got about another 7 minutes on that warning. Yeah, so it looks like, I mean, they would have cropped out Berry County by now if they were going to. They'll just let that expire.
Yeah.
For Springfield.
Let me look in the Springfield chat because I've been checking the chats too, and thus far, Little Rock and Tulsa has been quiet.
Yeah, pretty quiet. And so we'll stay on until the severe thunderstorm warning drops off. We'll keep a very close eye on the newer cells that are beginning to build off to the south. But for right now, it looks like the severe threat is pretty low. Take another look here at the environment off stream.
Mm-hmm.
I'll show the mesoscale and the comp map. See if we have any support or not. Let's see here. A little bit of energy over Carroll County, but not much.
Yeah.
In terms of instability, though, yeah, a lot of this is capped. Yeah.
And not to mention, I don't know. There are a lot of contours, yeah.
My allergies are starting to
really kick in.
So if you're part of the sensitive group, such as myself, as I like to say on air, remember your allergy medicine for outdoor plans this upcoming week, especially Tuesday and Wednesday. It looks like those will be the driest days of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Outdoor plans. So shift handoffs happening with the National Weather Service. Things are quiet right now. Still monitoring Carroll County for this storm that's continuing to build a little further south. Moving into portions of Newton County as well, building south into Newton County. No lightning with those storms just yet, but we'll continue to monitor that. I want to see something here pretty quickly. Yeah.
Well, we've gotten the better end of
those echo tops start to fall. That line may be weakening some. If you don't know what echo tops, those are, for anyone that's questioning, if you don't know what echo tops, those are the how tall the thunderstorms are. So usually the taller the thunderstorm, the stronger it is. If those thunderstorms are getting what we call capped or just can't build vertically on top of each other, usually means they're not that good. Yeah, about 30,000 feet. It was a little taller.
Yeah,
So still got some height to them, but
nothing too impressive though, which is honestly really good news.
Yeah. So got about another 4 or 5 minutes for that storm. Yeah, they're not going to crop that. They're just going to let that expire.
We definitely got lucky tonight because I'm looking at one of my friends just texted. He said Norman is a disaster zone right now. There's trees all over the place. Some small buildings collapsed.
Yeah.
A tree fell on my neighbor's apartment. He said there's a complex or a dumpster in his complex that's on fire too. Okay? Yeah, he's good.
That's good. Yeah, I was watching this happen out west. I was even watching. I won't name drop any streamers.
Yeah.
Just for like I don't know how the copyright rules and all that are, but I was in some of the streamers, some of their streams a little earlier as they were storm chasing, and they were definitely saying those winds were serious. And a lot of people, another reason I wanted to go live, because outside of it being, a holiday and a lot of people outdoors, I think in areas that are pretty prone to tornadoes here and there, such as our area, you can kind of like just throw caution to the wind when it comes to straight line wind damage. But as you just alluded to, straight line wind damage is usually, and honestly, it usually impacts more people than tornadoes because they usually extend further in coverage. And they can also cause tornado-like damage. Doesn't take a tornado to cause damage to property.
Trees to get uprooted, buildings.
And we saw that just last week with that storm over in Tahlequah, as well as
Tahlequah. People were reporting, last Saturday morning. Saturday morning. A lot of people were reporting trees down and how they had to clean up the entire day, and it was just from pretty much straight line winds.
Straight line winds. That's all it was.
They are powerful.
Yep.
Honestly, these storms are not.
Yeah. So the storms are building south into Newton County, but they're not strong. They're
not blowing up like crazy either.
They're not blowing up like crazy. No lightning with them as of right now. Not getting taller as of right now either. In fact, getting smaller, shrinking. Still some heavy rain over in Green Forest. We saw that. Oak Grove still getting in some heavy rain. Blue Eye. That's in far south. That's really, really right on the state line. So if you have anybody traveling over in Carroll County along US Highway 62, maybe let them know. So there's some rainfall coming in as well. And honestly, it looks like the lightning has trended down a little bit as well. We starting to see a little less lightning with this cell.
Yeah.
It's about another 60 seconds before that storm warning is allowed to expire for Berry County. The strong storms have long been out of Berry County at this point. It's calmed down quite a bit. We'll continue to stay close by to the radar and keep an eye on it, but I think we'll be able to go ahead and drop off here pretty soon.
I'm hearing a pickup revving.
Yeah.
Yeah, that warning I think goes out in a minute, right?
Yep.
It expires in a minute. Yeah. They were still shooting off fireworks in Fort Smith. How? I don't know, man. I don't know how. Like, still raining in Fort Smith. I don't know if there's lightning per se, but it's still raining down there. So I'm surprised people are still willing to be out there in the rain and deal with the fireworks. But I guess everyone's trying to get it done and over with today so that they can go home, I guess.
Right.
For the rest of the night. Mother Nature brought her own fireworks. And maybe if you were lucky enough, you were able to see both Mother Nature's fireworks and artificial fireworks. Let's look at some cameras. Here's Huntsville. There we go. Definitely not looking as electric as it was earlier, right off the bat.
Yeah, the lightning has significantly trended down.
Yeah, Gaither Mountain though. Still seeing some lightning off there. Any more?
Curious to see if these storms over in Newton County begin to get lightning on them. But that severe thunderstorm warning has expired for Berry County.
Yes, Michael, NWA is done. You can go to sleep. Gentry is good.
Yep.
Just got this showing 15 minutes before the storm hit.
Honestly, everyone can go to sleep as of right now.
Should have been around when it
I just saw a lightning strike on Huntsville.
Jim said.
Or a firework, my bad.
Yeah, I don't know what people are doing. Jim said should have been around when it turned 2000. People set off fireworks until 3 a.m. or so. It was crazy. Well, I'll tell you what, Jim, I was not alive in 2000. I was born in 2003. So
believe it or not,
quite
no,
a ways
neither
from
was
that.
I just missed the cut. 01 baby.
And that warning's gone.
Shout out to him.
That warning is done. So for those wondering what we're looking at, I'll show you real quick. Would not be surprised if there's more fireworks as people are reporting. It's gone. Done.
You can see the smoke on our Huntsville school, middle school from.
Oh my God, I
the
see it. Hold
firework.
up.
Yeah, from the firework.
Done. That warning is gone. Keeping an eye on this line, but honestly, it tried pulsing up to severe and it didn't.
Yep.
These storms are pretty much losing their power here as
Yeah,
we speak,
losing
honestly.
steam.
Still shooting fireworks in Springdale. Honestly, this is no longer like a
This is a
do you have
server.
severe weather reports? No, it's like a do you have
This is
firework
this is a
reports?
firework report. Send us
This
all
is
your
a
firework
reports, man. Huntsville.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
see
that
the
smoke.
from. Yeah, there you see it. Fireworks still going.
You guys are young. I was born in 1959. I feel ancient. You're not ancient.
Not ancient. Well, here's the thing. Well, Huntsville, you guys, it's actually not raining technically, Huntsville. So I guess have fun. I guess for now.
Yeah.
The rain.
have
There
fun.
will be some stratiform rain on the way. Some
It's
lightning
like
strikes.
it's a whole hole over Huntsville.
Right.
Rain to the north.
Madison County.
Rain to the west.
Madison County may have their own fizzle.
Yeah.
Fizzle magic going on.
Honestly, I think we could
Yeah, I think we're good.
drop out here.
So we're going to keep a close eye on the cell, of course, over Carroll County, but it looks like it's continuing to weaken.
Oh my God, it's focused on me.
The camera likes you.
there
There we go.
we go.
So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that cell, but it looks like it's weakening. Overnight tonight, things will just be stratiform rain, maybe a few lightning strikes and rumbles of thunder, but nothing severe overnight. So if you're expecting that, don't be. Everyone is good to go to sleep. We of course appreciate you guys for tuning in and staying on stream with us. We're thankful that the ceiling of severe weather was not necessarily met. Of course, we still had numerous warnings. Hopefully everyone was staying safe and still had a very good end to the 4th of July. And of course, we're glad you're with us, and always keep it here with your weather authority team for the latest information and details.
Yeah, and before we go real quick, I definitely do want to show people just a quick look at future tracks, since I know that's what people are concerned about.
Yeah, good one.
And
Gotcha.
letting you guys know when we could expect additional rain. Honestly, let's just say the models, of course, not always the best. It's not even look at this.
Yeah,
The latest HRRR isn't even showing anything that's happening over Springfield with how heavy it is.
Right.
So yeah, this is what it's looking like. It looks like there might be more additional storms by the looks of it. River Valley region during the early morning hours, and maybe even eastern or just north of Interstate 40, but really nothing too crazy there by the looks of it. Let me look at the extended as well, see what that's showing. A little bit more rain.
Down. Yeah, that's what it looked like during my show.
Okay.
So maybe some isolated pop-ups, but for the most part, it looks like things will be downtrending. But then we get to Monday afternoon and we got more rain chances on the way.
Additional storms. Yep. So there we go. That's the looks right now. And of course, Davion will be in here tomorrow, of course, giving you all the latest information in regards to tomorrow and heading into the new week. But thank you everyone for joining. Sleep well, honestly. You'll probably still hear a couple of fireworks by the sounds of it, since people are still throwing them.
Yeah, no storms are dying over in Carroll. We're good.
Yeah, and tomorrow, honestly, no severe weather for tomorrow.
Nope.
It looks like just garden variety,
just
storm shower pop-ups, possibly, especially in the River Valley. But here, we're pretty much good.
We're good. We're good, guys.
Good night. Good night, everyone. And yeah, I'm sure Dan has been tuning in from time to time too and checking up on us. But yep, that's all the information we have for you guys. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. Sleep well. I hope you had a great 4th of July.
Yeah.
And
if your 4th of July plans were spoiled, just get outdoors and enjoy the calmer weather for this Sunday.
Yes, for sure. But thank you, everyone, and we'll see you around.